Aaron Rodgers the day that he decides to show up, the defense doesn't. I want the whole package. I want the whole thing this time.
I'll tell you what, Romeo Doubs is looking good. He is going to be wide receiver number 1 by the end of the season. Book it.
Dillon are going to be part of this. They're going to get a lot of catches this year. They're going to get even more. Jones already showed that he can handle a big load of catches.
9 different receivers had 90 or more yards, in the 7 games that Devontae was out.
He stuck with this team for so long. He said he wants to retire here. Why not just let it be? I mean...
Hey everybody, this is Gerhard de Beer, former Green Bay Packer offensive lineman, and you're watching Frozen Tundra Network with Bill the Packer fan and Packer owner Nick. Enjoy.
What's going on, everybody? How was week 2 for you, man?
What a great week it was, man.
It was a get-right game. It was get-right week.
The thing I wanted to say real quick, I didn't understand is, like, does the NFL have something against the Bears? Do they just love watching the Packers kick their ass on primetime? Like, they know year after year that's what's going to happen, and they still put it on primetime. You know what I mean?
It really is funny you say that, because I literally saw posts from Bears fans saying, can you stop putting us on primetime against the Packers? Like, please.
Yeah, like, it's time to get embarrassed. People are getting bored with it now, man. What's up, Dave? Welcome to the show, man. Glad you made it just in time. We just started.
So welcome, everybody. Welcome to Frozen Tundra Network. We got a great show for you. We got co-host Bill, the motherfucking Packer fan who was at Lambeau last week. Hopefully you caught him. We got John Dorn, always. We got Rob, and we got Dave. We got these two who are wonderful on this show with us. Let's go ahead and let's dive into something that I want us all to talk about initially. Let's start off the show this way. I think this is a great way to start off the show. I think everybody's going to have something to say about it. Let's start off with Bill. Tell me what you think about this. Bill.
Oh, I actually thought it was pretty funny. Now that I read it, I see where you're going at. Yeah, what was amazing is everyone always told me that he would be wide receiver number 1 on the Packers, but I believe he had 2 catches, 4 yards or something like that. I believe we even had the stat already pulled up for us. Yeah, he was 2 targets, 1 catch for 4 yards. Yeah, I'm pretty much going to say he got shut the fuck down.
Negative 4 yards. He has 4 yards on the season so far in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's on the season? That wasn't even last week?
Last week he had negative 4 yards.
Holy
cow.
No,
this is against the Packers.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It's negative 4 yards.
All offseason, that's all they talked about was this guy.
Yeah, so week
Holy cow.
Week 1, he had 8 yards. Week 2, he had negative 4 yards. He has 4 total yards on the season so far. John
That's
Dorn,
not even a full point in fantasy league. That's not even
John Dorn, you're laughing your ass off. I need your opinion on this. I want you to talk about the negative 4 yards, and this is what Mooney said in response to what Jair said. On this, well, I want you to talk about the.
Okay, well, for one thing, Mooney's been talking up his ass all fucking off season. He's breaking up Fields. He's breaking himself up. All this bullshit, and he comes out and lays an egg in 2 fucking games. The dude's he lost it, man. That whole fucking team lost it. Fields, he can't throw worth shit. Can't read defenses. He can't do fucking nothing good except run the ball. You might as well make him a fucking running back. But go back to Mooney here. Yeah, he's just a waste of space, man. Fucking on that fucking roster, I'm telling you. I mean, he'd probably be probably a practice squad, probably in our fucking team.
Yeah, Rob.
We might even cut him.
Yeah, might even cut him.
Chomping at the bits. He's got a lot to say. Rob, what do you think about this?
Well, dude, I think it's more. All right, look, I'm not saying Moody's a great wide receiver, but he's their number 1. And the fact that they're not making plays to get him open, that says a lot about either the quarterback or the offensive scheme, man. He's just not. Bear fans all season just hyped this guy up, talking about how he's going to take over being their number 1, and Robinson wouldn't be missed. And Man, they talked about our wide receiver room. Theirs is much, much, much worse than ours, bro. Much worse.
I agree.
And it showed up. It showed up Sunday. It showed up Sunday, man.
Let's put it this way. You guys talked all that shit. Your quarterback threw 70 yards. There's so much to talk about. I'm gonna.
There
you
is.
guys
Man.
gave a lot of great points. I'm gonna bounce into our next topic. Is there not only one, but is there two Aarons that owns the Chicago Bears now?
Yes, there
On
is.
Sunday, there certainly was. Sunday, there was definitely. That's how I envision our run game to be every week, man. That's how it's got to be.
Aaron Jones definitely needs a lot more carries for sure. I agree.
If Aaron Jones was the focal point week 1, I strongly feel it's a different game.
I think it's a closer game, and the outcome could have been different because we would have been in that game.
You know what's sad is we talked about it last week. We were in that game. There was just a few parts to the game, not making it on 4th and goal on the 1-yard line. Watson dropping the 75-yard touchdown. Poor coaching in the first half for defense.
Yeah.
There was a lot. We actually were in that game. If Aaron Jones gets more than, I believe it was 5 rushes for the whole game.
Yeah, he had 5 touches.
Yeah.
He had 8 touches all game or something, but 5 rushes. That was it.
We put Aaron Jones in positions like we did. And look, let's be honest. A.J. Dillon was not great. He was not great. But you know why A.J. Dillon was not great? Because they were stacking the box and they were pushing inside. And Dillon's not an outside. He's not a bounce runner. You know, he doesn't make the moves that Aaron Jones. He saw a hole collapse and he would bounce to the next hole and he would be gone. So,
yeah, but see, A.J. Dillon did a lot more than you guys think. Like one of the touchdowns Jones ran in, A.J. Dillon was in front of him like this. Literally.
Oh no, I like the one. I like the way they're doing it.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
Pushing him. He ran him the fuck over, and Aaron Jones had a clear path right in.
Yeah,
so
I seen it with my own eyes. I like that move, and they need.
Let's talk about that. Is the 2 running back set that we're using, is that the future of our offense? Because
definitely.
Whenever those 2 were on the field together, it was unstoppable.
And you got to figure too, Sammy Watkins and Zard are one of the top blockers in the league.
Right.
For receivers.
Well, the running game opened up that whole passing game with the crossing over. I mean, I'm sorry, Sammy's hurt. I mean, this is the knock on the guy that he can't stay healthy. And here it is, man. The first week he does something positive, now he's out, man. It's fuck.
And I was just having high hopes for him.
David Gray, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
So tell us what you thought. My topic was, is there more than one Aaron that owns the Bears?
Not quite. He did last week.
Sunday.
He owns Minnesota more, I think, but
we're bouncing off of last week. Aaron Jones.
Yeah, he definitely owned him last week.
Boy, did he whoop that ass last week.
Yeah.
We needed him too, though, man. About fucking time, dude, we got to him.
So
that is our offense now. We don't need Aaron Rodgers to fucking bail us out now. We got fucking that's our offense, man.
And I agree. And you know what? Aaron Rodgers didn't have the greatest game ever, but he had a pretty decent game. It wasn't amazing, but it was a good game. We were just talking about if we utilized Aaron Rodgers and A.J. Dillon the way that we did against the Bears in week 1, it's a much closer game. It's a much better game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And the run game was even working. They went to the run game. I forget what it was already, but it was like 15 carries for a shit ton of yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's go into, look, this is what everybody wants to talk about. This is what we're going to talk about. Let me pull it up real quick.
There's Mike right there. Hey, Mike, would you like to come on tonight, being that we play your team this Sunday?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, bring that Bucks fan out.
If you do, Mike, let me know and I'll bring you on, bud.
So look, this is what everybody wants us to talk about. So let's talk about it. Where's the football? Can anybody answer this question for me? Where's the football?
Oh, I see his Preston's arm.
Me too.
The only people saying that this is a touchdown are the Bear fans. the actual refs, the actual officials, the real people that keep track of this, they say there's inconclusive evidence. It was close, but I'm going to say this to Bear fans before you start knocking the call. How about knocking the call to run a quarterback sneak from a 5-yard shotgun? What the hell are you thinking?
Technically, it was a 6-yard shotgun because they were on the one.
Well, whatever, bro. He needed 6 inches, and he goes back 6 yards to get it, to get stopped short.
Not only that, who was it that got them down into the 1 yard line?
Us?
It was it was David Montgomery, right? And a collection of Herbert.
They ran it all down there. That whole thing.
You get to 4th and goal on the 1, and John Dorn. What is it that they did at that point? What are you guys doing?
They got stuffed, that's for sure. But that's just Fields, man. He's just he's horrible. What do these Bear fans see in this guy? I really don't. You know what I mean, he couldn't just get that 1 yard from. It's like you said, why are they going back 6 yards to get that 1 yard? I don't know.
Well, I think it's the scheme. I'm still gonna, you guys can put it on Justin Fields. Yeah, is he a good quarterback? I don't think it's all him. I mean, this is a coaching call, Vero. I mean, who tells you to go back 5 yards and try to make it? You only needed 6 inches. They were literally 6 inches from just fall forward, bro. Take the ball from the center and fall forward.
So real quick, Bill, you pulled it off, but this brings me to a good point right here.
Yeah,
where,
and I've seen that in person. Now he was clearly out of bounds, way out of bounds.
So much.
We can still hear you, Dave. You're still good.
They're talking about calls. Remember? Okay, so his face mask he pulled him out of bounds on that catch by his face mask. Now, you guys can talk about. He was already
out of bounds. He was already out of bounds, and he still grabbed his mask.
You guys can talk about the refs all you want. All I have to do is look up bullshit calls, and I can find 10 of these as well. Okay, so as much as you guys want to talk about that was during the possession where they did the shotgun on 4th and goal on the 1. So we can talk about it all day as much as you want. There are no calls on each side every game. I don't care what team you are. It happens. Exactly. Okay? It happens. Now, was the touchdown close? Sure, it was increments, but where is the football? Someone show me where the football is. I still haven't seen it.
Bring the picture back up. Let me see.
They act like if they would have got it, that they're going to win the game. You're 10 points down, and we could have scored more if we really wanted to.
I got the video.
Yeah, I got it right. Yeah.
Too bad you can't see the time on the. What's the time on the clock at this point?
I believe it was like 8 minutes.
5 minutes. 5 minutes left. There was
5 minutes. Okay, so they're going to get 10 more points in 5 minutes. You're going to go down and score on us. You haven't been able to score most of the game, other than the opening drive, and that drive right there. That was it.
Dude, we went from the 1 yard line and kicked the fucking field goal. What makes you think they're going to stop us after that? I mean,
exactly.
So welcome, Isaac. Isaac's here. I want to get Isaac's opinion real quick. Look, everyone's talking about this. Obviously, I've seen every other team's fans that are not the Bears fans go, you can't call that a touchdown. You just can't. So, Isaac, what'd you think?
Some moron Bear fans circled right there and try to fool everybody. There's a football there, but you need a like NASA telescope to see if there's a football right there.
It looks like some peanut butter and some jelly. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, you can see.
I thought he got in, but
well, when you zoom in real close, you see butthurt Bear fans.
I thought
see, there they are, right there in the middle.
David Gray, even if you thought that he got in, you can't say that this is the ball crossing. There's no definitive evidence.
No, you can't.
You can't at all.
It was real no touchdown. I mean, sorry for your loss, bro.
If that happened to us, I'd be sitting here going, you can't call it a touchdown. I can't even see the ball.
Right.
I'll admit, man, I thought that was a horrible call, but I thought he had it at first, bro. I really did.
Bear fans, hypothetically, we give you that touchdown.
I needed them to have it because I had the fucking over, man.
Hypothetically, let's give the Bears that touchdown.
Degenerate.
No. You couldn't move the ball 5 yards. What makes you think you would have won that game at all?
Kelsey's right, though. Even if they got it, they still weren't going to win.
So let's talk about a really good call. A really, really good call in this game was right here. What are you doing? Okay, so first of all, you're scared of
yards
Devondre
over.
Campbell is what that means.
Yeah, they ain't arguing about that one, are they?
Hey,
When it comes out,
Nick, share that Kenny Clark one where he has Fields on the ground.
Oh, I don't have that on here, but there is one on Instagram where Kenny Clark is looking at him on the ground like, yeah, you didn't want this. I'm gonna give a shout out to the Bear Down Breakdown. They were talking about this on their show as well, and they were talking about how this is one of those things where it doesn't feel like he's progressing. It feels like he's staying stationary, and they're being very concerned about it. The Bear Down Breakdown, I will give them credit for. They are very, very honest about their opinions. They were saying, and I agree. So let's touch on that subject. Justin Fields, what did you see, and where the fuck are the Bears going with this?
He looks worse than Trubisky, I'll tell you that. I mean, they downgraded the quarterback, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I don't understand it. I don't understand what they. I mean, they not have the same eyes we all see with. I mean, it's clear.
Especially spending 2 first-round draft picks, a 5th, and a 4th for him. I mean, come on. I mean, he should be playing a lot better than this.
See what happened here. What happened here in this game plan, or whatever Bears game plan that they have, is they thought those rollouts that worked on the Niners would work on the Packers. And see, Bears fans, what you guys got to understand, there's something called game tape, where we can, where we see exactly when you're doing the same damn play over and over again.
Exactly.
It's going to get figured out.
I'm glad you brought that up. Can we all acknowledge that Eric Stokes, when you put him in man-to-man and you let him be on his own little island, Eric Stokes showed up. Eric Stokes looked great in that game.
Look, I'm gonna say this: our secondary is billed as they should be. We're not using them the way we should. That's the problem. They can handle
They
their
better start using them
They
the way
can
they
handle
need to
their-
be used. Then
So once we were up enough, all of a sudden the zone came back out. I noticed that.
Exactly. That's why they got back. That man.
We were using a lot of man nickel, which is what we all wanted to see. Quay Walker, you could see him running like a chicken with his head cut off everywhere. That's kind of what you want, because he's kind of like the Joker on the field, you know what I mean, or like the ace of spades. You know, it's like
right.
So I liked what I saw. Rasul Douglas, he was underneath all day and he was stopping everything. And then they didn't even throw at Jair. There was that one play though at the very end of the game. I know we all remember this. Jair ran 40, 35 yards, I think they said, across the field to intercept that ball.
Oh yeah.
Was that not crazy?
Play. He just came out of nowhere. Just grabbed.
Dude, I swear he declared he was going to take it, and then he just went and got it, bro. I mean, the way it looked, the way they set it up, I mean, man.
So is Kenny Clark out for this weekend then? That's what I'm trying to get right now.
No.
He should.
I didn't see Clark on no injury.
Yeah,
I didn't see Clark on no injury.
Yeah, he's got a groin injury.
Real quick.
Really?
Yeah, but I didn't think he was out. I know he was.
He practiced today.
Yeah.
It says questionable. It says questionable here.
He'll be fine.
Oh, they put everybody on questionable, and that's hurt or sore.
I think that's the new norm in the NFL.
Yeah.
Especially the Packers. The Packers put everybody on questionable.
Watson's actually from Tampa,
He could have
Florida.
a hangnail. And
I hope they release them.
Did you guys know that Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers, they're all questionable too? So, real quick though, I want to finish this little part of it. The Jair coming across, he was playing man. He came across. Actually, he was playing man on someone else, and he came across on another route, and he stole that ball. You need to let these guys play man. Eric Stokes got beat by EQ St. Brown deep, and then what happened? Fields actually threw a pretty good ball, and Stokes is so much faster than EQ. He caught up and broke up that deep pass. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was close to the 50-yard line.
Oh, he's got good makeup speed. Good, make us beat.
Let these guys play man. Let them fail on their own, not because of the safeties not being able to hold down the backside. Okay.
Yeah, that Jair where EQ got that catch on him, like he thought he was going to run a go route, and it ended up being a deep curl by EQ. So he kind of got him there. But like the rest of the game, actually, that was the biggest play of the game for the Bears, really, or a passing play at least.
EQ
that was
did
their
get
longest
Jair.
play of the game for sure.
EQ did get Jair on that one. I'll give it to him. He caught Jair slipping on that one play at the beginning of the game. After that, Jair gave up absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's get to our next topic. Bill, the Packer fan.
What's going on?
I thought we had no receivers.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that one. That's just because every week everyone keeps comparing him. Now Devontae ain't happy at all. Not at all.
Well, Devontae, he had a really good week 1. Week 2 was horrible. Carr was forcing it to his feet. So what's going on here, Bill? I thought we had no wide receivers.
Well, I told him, man, the grass ain't greener on the other side, bro. He didn't listen.
Because honestly, dude, week 1 really, I mean, yeah, he had some numbers, but they lost the game because Carr was trying to force it to him. So, yeah. I mean, I'm honestly, I bet if you go ask Devontae if he'd liking this choice, I bet he'd be the first one to say he'd rather come back.
So let's touch on that real quick, Isaac, and then we'll go to John. What's going on in Raiderland with Devontae Adams and what's going on with our receivers?
You know, I was jokingly saying that, you know, EQ is going to be the Bears' best wide receiver, and he ending up being
I know you were joking, but you was right.
Week 1 and 2, he's the Bears' best wide receiver. But I think why is Devontae struggling in that? You know, why Devontae's struggling there is just it's a very hard division. It's a pretty tough division. You face, the Chiefs' defense got a little bit better. The Chargers' defense is really hard to play against. And even though Broncos are struggling right now, they still have a pretty good young defense. Their young corners are pretty good on Denver. Even though Denver's not really looking like what it should be, they still have pretty impactful defenses in that division. So it's Devontae is going to have his hands full. They're going to scheme against him. They already know that the ball is going towards him. So,
and that's great. But Devontae Adams played possibly the worst secondary or one of the worst secondaries in the league last game. Okay, so look, this is the greatness of Rodgers. You take away Devontae Adams, which they clearly did. They were double and triple teamed him all game. Derek Carr cannot get Adams the ball when he's covered like that, whereas we saw many years Rodgers is getting him the ball regardless. He's getting him the ball. It doesn't matter. When Devontae is taken away, Carr's going to struggle, man. He's going to struggle.
Yeah, even though Carr, he can throw the ball, but he can't fit it through those tight windows that Aaron Rodgers can.
In double coverage,
you know what I mean? Yeah, right. Aaron Rodgers can fit it through the tightest of windows. And, you see balls, going right through, players' ear holes of their helmets getting it to Devontae Adams. Derek Carr does not have the ability to do that.
I want to say, Greg, we know this. We were just touching on that. The problem is we're touching on when Devontae Adams is taken away, Derek Carr is just not – he can't carry a team the way that Rodgers can. You know what I mean? Look at
he became Kirk Cousins.
Sucks.
Looks like Aaron Jones could carry a team too now, though.
Oh, yeah.
There's two Aarons now that can carry.
Yeah, he put the team on his back last Sunday.
Yeah, Derek Carr became Kirk Cousins.
I want to talk about something. Let's go back to the Bears. There was a press conference after the game that Justin Fields had, and he said some very questionable things. Now, look, I know Bears fans are saying you took it out of context. I'm sorry. There's only one way you can really perceive what he said. David Gray, what did you think about what he said about his fan base?
I think he fucked up even more when he tried to make a rebuttal about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I didn't even hear the rebuttal.
That rebuttal was even worse. Like, dude, you said that shit, man. Like, you meant it.
If there's never a guy that needs a PR guy, he's one of them, bro.
Yeah.
So look,
for real.
I'm not going to say that David Gray dislikes Rodgers, but he has his moments where
I'm disappointed.
We know how
bro.
he feels.
He's disappointed a lot of times. But David Gray, could you at least acknowledge that if Rodgers said that, the whole world would blow up, would it not?
Oh, definitely.
Well,
I'm
they
just
kind of
surprised.
did when he said that the shares didn't mean nothing. You know what I mean? In that one interview, and
Oh.
he drew ire from the Packer fans when he said that.
There's nothing wrong with what he said, though. Like,
Exactly. We all know it.
I have
Yeah.
yet to hear Rodgers say anything negative towards the Packers organization.
I mean, everybody that buys them knows that they don't own the fucking team. It's just like a
No,
But it's
Billy-
fun to
Right,
tell them.
just to
It's
help
fun to
out the
say.
stadium.
so real quick, I want everyone to raise your hand if you own one of those, because I own one.
What?
I think this whole
Stock?
panel owns one of those share stocks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's 4 out of 6 of us. I'm pretty sure the 4 of us know.
I'm a cheap fucker. I don't want to.
I'd rather put
I
my
don't
money
get
in
to go on
Harley
the
Park.
field. I don't get to go on the field and tell the players what to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, for the
It's-
for the billionth time, all these teams that say they wouldn't buy a share of stock
They're
of their
liars.
team are full of shit.
Yeah,
You know
They're
what I mean?
liars.
Yeah. If they're
It's
there
pure
buying
jealousy
bear
at that
claws,
point.
yeah, if they were there buying bear claws and dressing up like clowns, like Wendy's, Wendy's fast food
Look,
restaurant,
it's just
you know what
another
I
way
mean?
to.
Viking colors, like they're
It's
gonna
another
buy
way to
these
support
share
your
stocks.
team, man. Who wouldn't want to do that? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
look.
That's what you do when you buy merch,
Exactly.
bro. Every hat,
Right.
every shirt,
I have
everything, bro.
mine. I framed it and I put it on my wall. I tell people, like, it's just really cool memorabilia. Like, I don't
Yeah.
ever sit there and go, I own the Packers. Like, people
Mhm.
are so ridiculous when it comes
It's
to
just
that.
like going to a game. You're paying that much going for a game to a game.
We actually
It's
do
be-
own the Packers, though.
Bro, I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you something. When I lived in Chicago, I had a Bear fan there. We used to go back and forth. One day he invites me to his house. What do I see on the freaking wall in his kitchen? A freaking stock, bro, from Green Bay. He's this diehard
We
Bear fan.
actually-
Shit to me.
Actually, me and Nick know a diehard Lion fan that bought one.
Yeah, Tom Novins.
See?
Oh, wait. Oh, did I
Hey,
give
not just you and
alias
Nick.
away?
I wouldn't put Tom Novin's name out there like that, but Tom
So don't say
Novin
you're
might
too
have
broke,
bought
man.
one.
Don't say that, bro.
Ah,
Yeah,
back
he
to
really
the-
did. He really did buy one. That's not even a joke.
Wow.
I tried to get him to go to the shareholders meeting too. I tried like hell.
he's from Australia.
Hey, I dare you to dress up and go to the shareholders.
Yeah, right.
meeting.
That's what my goal was. Yeah.
Just
Throw
like a
bullshit on.
kangaroo.
I'm
So
coming
I
to
think
make
we all
some
agree.
TikToks.
I think we all agree what Justin Fields said. Like, come on, man. First of all, this is your second year. It's not like you've been there for when Rodgers says shit, he's been there for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, Justin Fields, you're trying to win over not only your fan base, but your management now, who does it clearly, it seems like they don't want you. You're doing a really bad job of it, in my opinion. Let's move on to this next one where I want John Dorn, because I know he's passionate about this one. Justin Fields. Is it? Look, it may not be guaranteed, but I think it's a better. I think it's more logical to say that he is a bust than he isn't. Wouldn't you agree?
He's a bust. I mean, he can just right by now he should be putting at least fucking lot of yards on her, at least fucking run for fucking yards. He ain't doing shit. He's getting sacked and fucking throwing interceptions and fucking he looks like dog crap. I mean, two first round picks, a fifth and a fourth. I mean, that's what you're getting. I mean, that's fucking horse crap. I mean, fucking, and they give a shit about Love. Love is definitely a hell lot better than him. I will guarantee you that.
So let's go around. Bill, we haven't heard from you for a minute. What do you think, Justin Fields? Do you think it's more logical to say he's a bust than not?
I don't know. I guess to say he's a bust. Yeah, he's definitely worse than Mitch Trubisky. Numbers don't lie. Stats don't lie. And much as gas bag Merkel wants to juice it up, dude, he's bad, bro. He's bad. He should be converted over to a receiver. That's probably your best bet at this point. Try to salvage the draft pick, you know.
I will say, I'll give him this small increment of credit. I don't think that interception against us was his fault. I think Jared is just that good. Like, that was – I'm sorry, but Rodgers could have made that throw and get picked off. Like, that dude was flying.
Yeah.
Isaac, what do you think?
Yeah, at this point he's a bust because like he's a bust when your when your coach only gives you 11 passes in a game. You know what I mean? It doesn't allow you to throw the ball at all. They're doing the same thing that they did to Mitch Trubisky. Handcuff him and make him do these small, college plays that don't work in the NFL, and then you're facing one of the premier teams, the teams as you become a Bear, your whole goal is to beat the Packers.
Right.
And you can't even do that with the type of offensive style that you try to give Justin Fields. And I think Justin Fields is limited to that, And he's a hell of an athlete, I'll tell you that. Like, he can run, and as you can tell, he's pretty strong, too. He's taking a lot of hits.
Colin Kaepernick, hell of an athlete.
Back to a running back. Make him to a running back.
Yeah, he's been hit a lot.
Colin Kaepernick was a hell of an athlete too. Terrible quarterback though,
Yeah, he's been getting smashed like every week, and he keeps getting up. Like he's like that boxer where or that clown that you inflate and keep hitting, and it comes back. That's Justin Fields at this point. And it's not going to get any easier when he has to face Lovie Smith now with that defense.
So let's go. Rob and Dave, I'm sure you have opinions on it as well, but I want to move to the next subject, and I want you guys to own this subject. Rob, we'll go with you first, and Dave, you're after him. Rob, Packers back on track or no?
I'm not saying that. I mean, look, I'm saying this season is kind of mirroring what we did last year. We got blown out. Well, we didn't really get blown out. We played a game one better, but we still played under our capabilities, under our potential. And, if we get better each game, like this game, I considered a get right game. If we didn't handle the Bears like we did, I would have some big flags, but the defense showed up for half the game. The offense showed up for half the game. I think we're still trying to put everything together. We found something in our running game. And I think, as long as we make progressions every week, it's a positive. And we're going in the right direction because we all know you get ready in the last 5 games of the season. That's when your team comes together. That's when you've been playing for 10 weeks. As long as we keep going toward that direction and keep getting better every week, and I see progression, I'm on board with it.
So Rob, I'm sorry. Keep going with your.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, man.
I was just going to say, I love everything that you just said. I share your thoughts. Dave, right before I get to you, I'm going to address this. You realize there's a lot of really bad quarterbacks that have not only gone to a Super Bowl, but lost won a Super Bowl. So just because he's been to a Super Bowl doesn't make him a good quarterback. So the irony of you saying clueless as usual, you fucking idiot. There's been terrible quarterbacks that have not only gone to Super Bowls, but won Super Bowls. So that point right there is just asinine.
Trent Dilfer.
Brad,
I said Trent Dilfer, Eddie's.
Brad Johnson for the Bucs. Brad Johnson was an absolute fucking bum and won a Super Bowl.
I think you didn't really like him much, huh?
He's a Tampa Bay fan, though. He should know that shit.
Man.
He's a Tampa Bay fan. He should know that shit.
I'm sorry. He should know that.
You don't even know about Brad Johnson, dude.
Can we all agree this was a really stupid comment? Are you serious? Kaepernick went to have you seen his stats? Have you seen him play quarterback? He is not a good quarterback. He's a good running.
He was a good running quarterback. He could run the shit out of some.
He's a great football player.
And you know how good those Niners teams were? You know what I mean? Defensively and everything. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
God. So I just needed to address that real quick, Dave. Packers back on track, or how do you feel about it?
I feel this week we will find out. Tampa's been a thorn in our side, and this has got to be a statement game for us. It's either way. I mean, I don't know. It's third game of the year. Yeah, you can't really judge much off the third game of the year, but it is against one of the NFC powerhouses.
One of the NFC favorites.
Yeah, I agree.
We can't control who goes in front of us. We can only do our best when we get there, man.
And we can't complain about us not having receivers because they don't either.
So we're going to get
that defense is tough, though, man.
We're going to get go as ours. Don't talk ours down.
Yeah, we're going to.
I know. I agree. No, I'm not.
We're going to get into the Bucs talk. I'm going to let Bill, John, and Isaac take the next topic, but I'm gonna bounce off of Rob and Dave real quick. I was not impressed, if I'm being honest, with this last game. I was not impressed. This should have been an absolute fucking blowout. It really should have.
I thought we were going to put up 40.
It could have at the end because we could have scored again and made the score even worse at the end. But there was a portion of that game where I was really sitting there like, we have problems. There are problems that we need to fix. And I've said this entire time where I think week 6 is where we see our team shine. I think it's going to take I think it's going to take a while. And then all of a sudden at the back end of the season, you're going to really see us 2010 it, if that makes sense.
Well, one thing about it, I'd rather start slow and then right towards the end start getting to our prime right before the playoffs. Like, oh, the other years we barrel right through, and then we get in the playoffs and we fucking suck. You know.
One thing I was happy about was the first drive. I was so mad. I was cussing at my TV. After that first drive, I was very, very happy with how fast the defense looked, with how to the quarterback, our defensive line was putting pressure on him all day. He could not run out of the pocket because we were there.
We always had a spy on him too.
The only thing
good
he's good for is his legs. That's pretty much it. Without you cut off his legs and you make him throw, you see what happens.
So look, in my opinion, there's a lot of people that are going to say the running defense needs to shore up. In my opinion, I disagree. Week 1, we stopped the run. We can stop the run. Week 2, you know why we didn't stop the running backs? Because we were so focused on bottling up Justin Fields. We were not going to let him have anything. We were going, look, run the ball all you want. We're going to stop you eventually at the 50-yard line, which happened a million times.
Yeah.
It looked to me like we made some bad calls on the defensive calls. We made some wrong calls against their offense.
I really liked our play action
tackles
passes
on that drive, man. When they got
our play action passes were pretty good. I mean, they're really fooling because they were so used to the run that the play action pass would come out of nowhere and surprise
them. Shredded them.
Yeah,
I would really like to see him throw it to Tanyan more. I saw him open for the second week in a row multiple times.
He was open a lot, bro.
I've seen it 2 weeks in a row now where Tanyan is in the middle of the field wide open and but you know what though? We have a quarterback that's not a pussy and makes his first read on his tight end. His first, second, and third read is his wide receivers. That's really what you do want from a quarterback. But at the same time, you want him to check down when it's necessary. So Rodgers needs to get in that zone of like, dude, you're an old dude. You need to check down when you're ready. I need to see a much different team. I think the coaching was still not where I want it.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's still – look, I think we have the players capable, and I think we have the talent. I think coaching is just lacking right now.
I think though I got to put some blame on Rodgers on that because he has times where he's just holding the ball. And
way too
you can
long.
tell
I agree.
LaFleur, that's not the play LaFleur's looking for.
He missed a few. He missed a few normal passes he normally hits, man.
Yeah,
Rodgers
in that fumble, that was Rodgers' fault. Rodgers moved the wrong way and he turned all awkwardly. That was his fault. I thought initially that A.J. Dillon had moved the wrong way around him, but no, the play was designed for him to cut underneath the quarterback, and Rodgers moved the wrong way. That's on Rodgers. Like.
Yeah.
Just like the Watson pass where he ran in front of the snap. He hit the snap that when Watson crossed in front of that. That was just bad timing.
So look, when you're older than LeBron James, you know what I mean? He's not literally. But you need to. That's bro. If you're going to criticize the team, I will give Rodgers this. If you're going to say like, "Hey, stop dropping the ball," if you're going to say, "Hey, offensive line block better," you need to not make those mistakes because you've been here long enough. Stop fucking up.
Yeah. I don't know. The ayahuasca gives them that young elixir. You know what I mean? It gives them the Benjamin Button feeling.
so let's move on to our big topic, our best topic, and our favorite topic right now. We're gonna start with Bill, the motherfucking Packer fan.
What's
Packers
up?
versus Bucks. What do you expect?
I expect it to be a close game. I also expect us to do a lot more like we did last week, a lot of Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon mix up with some small screen passes. You might see some nice attempts with the rookies, because like Roger said in all his interviews, he's going to slowly move into them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just trying to blast them. The first play of the game, their first NFL start, the first game of the season, and that's your first play. You put him on the spotlight like that. That kind of probably, tore up his mentality a little bit. So, got to wheeze him in little by little. But I expect to see a lot of Aaron Jones for sure.
All right. Well, John Dorn, why don't you bounce off of what Bill said?
Well, I expect a lower score game. Defense, both defenses are going to be good. I mean, Bucks offense actually hasn't been putting hardly any points up at all the past 2 weeks, past 2 games. I mean, their defense is actually putting more points up than anything. It's actually winning their games. So I expected something like 20-13 or something, 17-9 or something like that. Something lower.
Okay, Isaac, take over.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game as well. We're going to utilize our running backs as well, but I think this is going to be a game where Alan Lazard actually, has a better game here because, we're going to probably scheme him open, and those play-action passes, Rodgers is really good at that. And if the defenses are not on their toes, and if they're just expecting to run, just mix in some of those passes to Alan Lazard, and Alan Lazard has pretty good hands, so I think Alan Lazard will pretty much have a small breakout game here, even though the Bucs defense is really good.
The other thing I want to say is, like Bucs likes the blitz a lot. I like to see them go to Watson, a deep pass, just tell him go. You see him blitz, run straight, and fucking just hit him deep. Get his confidence up again. That's what he needs to get Watson's confidence back up. And it's his hometown in Tampa. Yeah. Fuck, give him the ball. Give him the fucking ball.
Our unsung hero, man, when Jenkins is in the game, it's a whole different offensive line. It's actually crazy how different that offensive line is when that dude is shoring up one side of the field. Man, Bakhtiari was upgraded to questionable. Now, look, I don't think he's going to play because I've seen this.
I don't want him to.
Same song and dance, okay? But with Jenkins back, it definitely changes the dynamic of our offensive line. I do think the starting offensive line we had this last week was drastically different from week 1, and it was way better. That week 1 offensive line was that was going to fail from day one.
Greg Rice, I'm more afraid of Shaq Barrett than I am Vita Vea. I'll tell you that. Shaq Barrett.
I'm more afraid of – we need to put
this helped, though. Having Jenkins back helped shore up the O-line just a little bit more, just the next step.
Unsung hero of the team right there. Go ahead and say what you're going to say, Dave.
We need to put a hat on Devin fucking White. He's fucking owned us the last 2 games, bro. If we can control him and somehow, keep him from beating us up, bro. He had some great games against us. And
there's the Lions Packer owner right there, Mr. Tom Novins.
Let's whoever wants to take this one, take it. I'm going to pull this up because we need to acknowledge this part of the game on Sunday afternoon. Who's taking over the injury report? Go ahead and take it.
I mean, anybody surprised Sammy Watkins is out week 3? I mean, come on.
Watkins is out. Bakhtiari's questionable. Mercedes Lewis questionable. Watson's questionable. Randall Cobb has an illness.
I mean, are we all really saying we want Bakhtiari to play against the Bucs? I mean, if he's like a week away, if they're going to put him play, I mean, if he sits out this week and plays next week, I'm good with that. If he stays healthy,
Yeah, I really don't want him out against this pass rush because, it could really be a liability to us because if Bakhtiari ain't 100%,
and that field ain't the greatest either.
They're going to take advantage of him.
And that field ain't the greatest either.
Ready for the Pats.
Right.
I'm cool with Yash.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Nyman's been doing a really good job. Runyon too. Runyon hasn't allowed a pressure at all.
Here's the problem, guys. You may be okay with Yash, but for whatever reason, management is not. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Josh Nyman, I'm not going to say always performs. I'm going to say more often than not, he performs very, very well.
Right.
If you put Nyman at the right tackle, and you put Zach Tom at the right guard instead of Newman, I'm just saying, or let's say put Nyman at the left tackle, because it seems like is for whatever reason, I don't know why, recently it seems like Jenkins likes to be on the right side. He's dominating on the right side. However it is that you need to intermingle that, get Newman out of there, please.
Dude,
God,
I am not a Newman fan at all.
I can't watch him
Hey,
anymore.
maybe
I can't, dude.
maybe Aaron Donald was doing us a favor when he was choking Newman. I mean, I
He
don't
does.
know.
He
you
makes
know?
a couple of good plays, like every once a game, maybe. But other than that, fucks up
Why don't
all
we
the time.
unshackle Caleb Jones? The guy's like 9'8", fucking
But
700
look,
pounds.
I get what you're
Sound
saying.
nervous.
You know what, though? What I noticed with offensive linemen, you see a guy that's enormous, and for whatever reason, they're the slowest feet on the planet. Maybe that's why he's not playing.
Well, the game that he played in preseason, he didn't allow anything. He was bullying people.
That's preseason. I really think Zach Tom is an actual NFL starting lineman.
For sure.
Get Newman out of there, please. I watched. I forget who it was. I can't remember who it was on the Bears. Some guy that I believe I've never even heard of spun on Newman, went right inside, right by Myers too, and Rodgers had to get rid of the ball out of bounds. And I was like, so there's Newman.
Yeah.
Newman.
Yeah, put Newman back on Seinfeld.
For real,
So
get him some Kenny Rogers chicken.
We're gonna get to the predictions. We're gonna get to the predictions soon. My last topic that I really want to touch on is it's week 3. What are the mistakes? And I'm talking about off-season, preseason, and now during the season. What are the mistakes that you think that we've made? And that can include the draft even. What are the mistakes that you think that we've made this year? And what are the mistakes that you think that we avoided? Now, I want to go to David Gray to kick this one off because I know he has a lot of crazy opinions when it comes to stuff like this overall for the team.
I only got one for you. We should have never traded up for Christian Watson. We should have took George Pickens. I don't care if he had a great catch last night. I said that for months ago. He was the better wide receiver. He played in the SEC. Yeah. Watson's got all these fucking measurables, all this and that, but dude, I don't know, man. We took a big risk.
I think we need time on that. I think time will tell.
Who's to say that? Because look, Jordy Nelson didn't play great his first year.
Yeah, I know.
Devontae didn't either.
Devontae was terrible his first 2 years.
I told a lot of people you're going to see a lot more Watson and Dobbs on the back half of the season.
I think
so too.
Too much.
Yeah,
man.
I think the back half of the season is where you test your rookies. You know, that's where they get the most opportunity.
David,
sorry, Rob.
Sorry, Rob. Potential.
We
in the first game.
We can touch on that in the free talk. I'm sorry, Rob. I don't want to cut you off.
No, it's
Isaac,
cool. I get it, man.
I just want to go around the panel and get everybody's opinion on this subject itself. So David Gray said his mistake that he thought it was that we traded up for Watson and didn't get George Pickens. I'm going to go with who I see first. Isaac, what mistakes do you think that we've made this year, and what mistakes do you think we avoided?
You know, I think the mistake for now until I see a better production out of him is Devontae Wyatt. I know I was banging the drum a month ago on Devontae Wyatt. I called that pick, but he's been a disappointment. He hasn't been that guy that frees Kenny Clark that I thought he would. But Kenny Clark's been freeing himself. And, he's been getting a little help from Jared Reed, which is really good. But Devontae Wyatt hasn't been that guy yet. So I think maybe we could have drafted somebody instead of him. It could have been Lloyd. It could have been other guys.
I still like Wyatt.
You know,
I still like Wyatt.
I like Wyatt, but I just need to see more. Like for now, he's been a bust to me, and I know I've been the guy advocating to get him. And something that maybe we could have avoided, I guess.
No, something we did avoid. Something we did avoid that was good for us.
Oh, okay. Something that we did avoid. Well, we did avoid on reaching on a wide receiver because a lot of these wide receivers haven't been really pulling their own weight. You know, I'd say Dotson is the surprise out of these wide receiver drafts. that Washington got because he's producing. But even Pickens, I like Pickens, but he hasn't even been producing himself. So there's a lot of wide receiver reaches that happened in the draft that really haven't been putting up any numbers. So
he's got Mitch. Come on.
Bullet after bullet.
I will say that, Traylon Burks has looked really, really good. So is Drake London, but I agree with you overall, reaching on some of these guys. I like your feedback on that. We're going to go with Rob. Go ahead. Mistakes we've made this year, mistakes we avoided.
My biggest thing, I don't think we should have took two defenders in the first round. I think that was our opportunity to get us a number one wide receiver at that point. I think things might be we might be looking at our wide receiver core a whole lot different at this point in the season. But I mean, Wyatt's not showing that he's going to be the guy. I don't think. I agree with Isaac on that. And honestly, we could have got a first round wide receiver, and instead of moving around to get Watson. I mean, we had the picks. We got him from Devontae. I just think we could have did. I think that right there, if I was going to second guess anything that Goody ever did, it might be taking two defenders in the first round when we could have got Rodgers a number one.
Anything that you think that we avoided that made us better?
Man, I was hoping to see with all the hype over the year that our defense was going to make that step. And I mean, I guess that's really I haven't seen it yet. Not to what I saw from when we ended last season against the Niners. That defense was like here, and what we got right now is like down here somewhere.
Okay. John Dorn.
Interesting.
Well, what I think is when we first found out that Adams was gone, we should have went out and got like Hill, or we should have got A.J. Brown or something. We should have just went out and spent the money, spent the picks. We had them. We should have went for it. But the Packers, they like to pay as little as they can. They like to lowball everybody. And like for Wyatt, I think it's like a Gary, Sean Gary. I think they picked him, but he's such far behind because they got Clark, they got Reed, he's got to go up. So I'm thinking within end of the season or next year you'll see a lot more of them.
All right. Okay. Bill, the motherfucking Packer fan, what do you think?
I don't know, man. I think we should have got Chris Olave instead of Watson. I think that's a mistake that we made for sure. I mean, he hasn't been balling out either, but I don't know. I believe in that guy. He's definitely going to be a top receiver here in the future. And the mistake I think we avoided was, I can't believe nobody has even said this, but we didn't re-sign Kevin King.
I mean, you see that clip about him? You guys should all be
excited about that, man. He actually announced today that he's, not going to do anything this season. He's going to do next season.
He's reassessing.
But thank God we didn't sign Kevin King, man.
So he's going to do what he's best at, nothing.
Yeah, right.
And it was on the table. I remember it was on the table at the beginning of the offseason.
So I'm going to give you guys mine, and you guys can bounce off of what I say because I'm going to give a little bit. I know you guys are going to have shit to say off of it. The biggest mistakes that we made this year, I said this the whole draft. When you watch A.J. Brown get traded, Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown get traded, when you watch the Tyreek Hill trade, it's like not even the Tyreek Hill trade. For me, the Tyreek Hill trade is not even that big of a deal. The fucking A.J. Brown trade, that drove me nuts when I saw that because I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure Rodgers could hit that guy on a dime all day long. In my opinion, you guys are right. Now, look, I still believe in Watson. I also believe in Wyatt. I loved what John Dorn said because this is going to take some time, fellas. Do you really think that Wyatt's going to just jump in and he's going to be Kenny Clark or he's going to be Rashawn Gary? Rashawn Gary even took a few years to be Rashawn Gary. So I think it's going to take some time. I do regret us not trading up at least to get a wide receiver or trading into getting a wide receiver. That's my biggest regret that we have. Now, what I will say, one of the biggest things that I think that we avoided, this is gonna sound crazy to some people, but I'm sure it's gonna make sense. The biggest thing we avoided was re-signing Devontae Adams when he didn't want to do the franchise tag, and here's why:
Forcing the hand.
we re-signed so many pieces on our defense, and don't worry, guys, the defense is going to be fine. It's going to come together. We're still going to be a top 10, in my opinion. At the end of the year, we're going to be top 5 defense. You saw him fly last week. It's going to get there. Don't worry about it.
Better and better.
If we gave Devontae Adams that contract, we have no defense. Could you imagine what it would look like now without those guys that we re-signed? So everybody take a step back. Everybody take a chill pill. This defense is top 5. We just need more weeks for it to show that. That's my biggest what we avoided. I would love to have Devontae Adams. Don't get me wrong. I'm not stupid. I would love to have Devontae Adams, but that was a big contract that we avoided to keep our defense intact.
Yeah, and then I want to add a little bit something on that AJ Brown take. I mean, the whole NFL was kicking themselves, learning that AJ Brown was available, and Tennessee was trying to get rid of him. But the thing is about AJ Brown is he actually contacted Hurts and kind of like leveraged that trade. He was in heavy contact with Jalen Hurts. He said he wanted to come to Philly, and Tennessee granted him that wish. Typically teams don't do that, and big hats off to Tennessee for doing that for him. Because mostly teams don't trade you to the team that you want to go to.
Well, I guess Hurts and AJ.
Devontae. We did that with Devontae for the Raiders. And also the Chiefs actually. Tyreek Hill, talked about he wanted to go to Miami and the Chiefs. So several of these guys that got traded went to the teams that they wanted to go to. But the AJ Brown, as soon as the trade was announced, that stung everybody. Everybody was like, huh, that guy was available? It really was just the Achilles heel to everybody.
Well, let's give the Eagles a lot of credit then, because they snuck that one under everybody. Man, I would have loved to given that bullshit ass trade to get AJ Brown. Let's be honest, that guy's a stud.
Yeah, they gave him nothing. They basically the picks were nothing. We would have gave those up in a heartbeat.
Bill the Packer fan, why don't you take over? You do what you do best, and let's go through predictions of the Bucs-Packers game.
Okay. Well, I say it's going to be a pretty close game. I'm calling it 20.
What I meant was you host the show now. You start. You go with your predictions first, but you start hosting the show, and you do what you do best for the last 2 decades now, and ask us all what's going to happen in this next game. Bill's the best at this. He's better than me at this. I'll give him that.
Okay, but my game day prediction is I think it's going to be a pretty close game, man. I think it's going to be close to 24-17 Green Bay. I think Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon's going to have a good day, but that's going to open up the passing game a little bit so we can kind of break the rookies in, get them a little experience, get their feet wet a little bit. But seeing Tom Brady suffer the way he suffered so far the first 2 games, and now he's really lost all his receivers, well, we really never had none to lose, so it doesn't really hurt us anyways. You know what I mean? So I'm calling the Packers 24-17. What do you think there, John? Mr. John Packer?
With their all the receivers gone and everything, and I mean they got Miller to throw it to and stuff, but I think it's be a close scoring game too. I got 17-13. Tell you the truth, close game.
Okay.
But we pull it off.
Yeah.
Our defense really stepped up in this game.
Yeah, they stepped up pretty good last week, man. Yep. They're slowly getting their feet back wet. But like Nick said, they weren't playing zone the whole game.
I want to see Watson get some bombs. I mean, because he's hometown. He's from Tampa, like I said earlier.
Hopefully that makes him more comfortable being in Tampa.
Exactly.
Let me go ahead and give mine real quick, and then we'll go to the other 3. We're losing this game, boys. We're a 12-5 team this year. Right, we're losing this game.
Cut Nick off. Kill his video feed.
Yeah, I thought Bill was hosting this part, Nick. What the fuck?
Hey, that's why he gave you hosting abilities right there, Bill. He's like,
I want to give
real quick
because I know you guys aren't going to like my prediction, and I'm going to give it real quick, and I want to hear your guys's. We're losing this game. We're not ready for top echelon teams like the Bucks right now. We just aren't. It's gonna take midway season for us to start finding our groove and start beating better teams. We're losing this game, and I think we're gonna lose this game probably around our defense is good, and I think our defense is starting to find its stride week by week. So I'm going to say somewhere around 27 to 20. I think there will be a moment where we have a chance to tie the game. We just won't. There's just a lot of factors
Homer
right now. We're losing this game. It's an early loss. Late part of the season, John Dorn, we are winning a lot of games, but right now, this is one of those 5 losses I have.
How the hell are they going to score that many points? How?
I love our defense, but like Rob was touching on earlier, it just hasn't came together just yet. Rob was kind of getting to that part where our defense hasn't hit its stride just yet. We're gonna hit a week 3 moment where our defense is still going to have good moments, I feel like, in this game. It's not going to hit its absolute stride just yet, though. So, Bill, take it over. I just want to get mine out of the way.
Go ahead. You want to go next, Isaac?
You know what? Nick kind of spoiled what I was going to say a little bit.
Man, Nick always messing shit up.
But I'm sorry, boys. I think we do take a loss on this one too, because
it's fucking home. What the fuck?
Tampa is tough to play in, and I think the score is going to be a lot lower than what you guys are predicting. I think it's going to be closer to a little bit over 10 points. I think it's going to be settled more with field goals because both defenses are going to be really good. You know, all the wide receivers missing is going to play a factor in it. It's going to be a lot of running. It's going to be, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. It's going to be Leonard Fournette, and it's going to be all defense. So I think our offense is not clicking fully right now, like Nick
clicking
said.
Better than Tampa.
So, yeah, better at Tampa.
I mean, they only got 2 touchdowns. They have 0 rushing touchdowns. 0 fucking rushing touchdowns.
But their defense is really monstrous right now. If you've been watching them the last 2 weeks, Tampa's defense has been running
A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones are going to run right down their fucking throat.
So I say 27 to 20.
I'd say
because 27 to 20 because 27 the Bucks are actually going to score on us 27 because we haven't figured it out just yet, completely. 20 is going to be on us in desperation mode. It's we're going to be scoring on desperation where Rodgers is finally going to have to pass the ball.
I think it's going to be a lot lower.
I think it's going to be
a lot lower than that.
We're going to whoop the living dog shit out of them.
What do you think, Isaac?
My Packer fan in me wants us to win and win big and just destroy Brady and shut all these naysayers up that Rodgers can't beat Brady and all this crap.
The reason we haven't had success against the Bucks is we don't establish the run and they just tee off on Rodgers, period.
Well, the main reason why we struggle with them is Levante David and Devin White, just kind of what David Gray was alluding to. They got super fast linebackers that really can wreck a game,
Wait. So that's when we got to.
So do we, man. We got some pretty good linebackers ourselves.
Oh, we do. But we're talking about their side of the ball. We're not talking about our side of the ball. We're talking about
if we can establish the run, we got a shot, man. We have to be able to run against these guys to win this game. If we can't run, then it's going to be same as always. They're going to win. They're going to come in and just crush us.
But let me get to my score prediction.
Let Isaac give his score prediction, and we're gonna get to that. Go ahead, Isaac.
I think it's going to be 17-14. They take us in this game. It's going to be a low-scoring game.
Homer.
So there's no point in watching
Homer
them. Fuck. That's an ugly game. Go for it, Bill.
Go ahead, Robert. You're next. Then we'll go to David real quick.
Like I said, man, if we don't establish the run, we have no shot at this game. I'm sorry. They got a better defense. Ours is still trying to find itself. If we can, it's like every game, man. There's always a handful of plays that make the game, man. Go either way.
Look at David.
We just got to step up when it's our shot, man. And I think we're gonna win this 24-21 Packers, man.
Hold on,
right.
On a
David.
last-minute Crosby field goal, man, because that bastard's sick and always on the
I
list.
love it. I love it just because we're winning. I love your prediction. Go ahead, Dave.
I remember Game 3 last year, and I'm sitting at a casino in fucking Gary, and I'm making bets, and I'm like telling this dude, ain't no way Green Bay's beating San Francisco. They fucking own us.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if I didn't win $200 fucking on Green Bay. We're gonna fucking win this game, man, because
Fuck yeah, David.
Aaron Rodgers is gonna commit to the run. He's gonna see that we're a running team now, man. He has to take.
So David,
look
Gray,
down
you
a
played
little bit.
reverse psychology on yourself.
no,
So, like,
bro, we're gonna
Hold
win.
on,
this
guys.
game.
Hold
We're
on.
fucking
David,
due.
go through
We're
your whole
fucking due.
spectrum of your thought process, please.
I'm going by week 3 last year, bro. I told you I was sitting there. I'm like, no way we beat fucking San Francisco. They fucking own us. And it's a regular season, bro. We all know Aaron Rodgers is gonna be hyped for this fucking game.
Yeah.
One thing about Packers do struggle down south, especially in
20 to
Florida.
17.
Come on, John. Don't bring up the negatives now. We're trying to have some positive. Right?
Hey,
What did he say?
He said we don't do well down there.
No, we
I
don't.
like
just,
Florida.
the way I
Well,
see
we're
it,
going to start doing well.
That's right. Starting this year, yeah.
the way I see it is we are
Book it.
going to lowball.
We're gonna win all our games in the South.
Yeah.
The
Start
first
tomorrow.
portion.
Start Sunday.
The first portion of our season is going to be low. That's just. I think we all were ready for this. Like we all knew that this was going to happen. We weren't
No,
going to
bro. I
start.
wanted to be 2-0 at this point. I really
We weren't-
expected to be 2-0.
We weren't
I
going to
really
fire
did, bro.
out of the gate, though. We weren't going to just be absolutely dominant out of the gate. It's going to take some time, man.
Yeah.
Give it week 9. All of a sudden, we're going to have a show.
shit, Nick.
Give
We
it
can't
the
wait
week
till week
9
9.
show. Watch. We're all going to be here on this panel going, I'm pretty sure Green Bay is going to whoop that ass this week.
Are we
Like,
going to be
you know what I mean?
8-1 at week 9? And then I'll be
No.
on the board. We'll be
No.
8-1 at
I
week
like-
9.
I like David Gray's story. He's like, man, we're not going to win this, but I'm going to bet on Green Bay.
Hey, guys, hold on real quick.
Hey, I had Devontae Adams first TD that game, dude. I should have paid me money, bro.
Hold on real quick. I want to touch on this. You can say the Bucs are tore up all you want. We have plenty of really big injuries as well, like serious people that could help our team. So
Yeah.
I hate when people are like, well, Mike Evans is out. Okay. We might not have Sammy Watkins. We might not have Christian Watson. There's also, we don't have Bakhtiari. That's like a lingering
Yup,
factor
Cobb
of
is
our team.
questionable.
Bite right in your ass.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cobb is questionable.
But Rob, you really
questionable.
you really think Tampa's defense is better than ours?
I don't think it is.
I don't agree with you on
Yeah,
that.
dude, I honestly lining up their front seven's
They're
the best
great.
in the league, bro.
They're
And that's
great.
fine.
Front
That's
seven's the
fine.
best in the
Their
league,
front
bro.
7 maybe, but our back end of our defense is way better than theirs.
That's where they get their
We're
pressure on the quarterback, bro. Right from their front 7, man. I mean,
we can man to man better than they can. We can go man to man all game. And be better
I
than they can.
agree. I think we got the best man-to-man team out there. I think we can hold our own. But our coach ain't doing it.
If Darnell Savage can finally get his head out of his fucking ass, this defense can be fucking great. He's been
That's
playing.
Sean Dorn's favorite
Bro.
players.
He
Darnell
needs to
Savage.
get his head out of his ass. He's been
No,
playing
it ain't.
bad, dude.
He's the
It is
weak link.
not.
He's the question mark. He's the question mark.
He's
Yeah,
the
their
weakest
front-
link on our defense.
He is.
Definitely.
Let's be honest.
So what?
The
Now that
weakest-
Kevin King's gone, the spotlight's on Savage now.
Yes,
Yep,
the
yep.
weakest link of our defense is by far Darnell Savage.
Yeah.
If he doesn't look after the first 2 weeks, I'm starting to think the management is thinking about, hey, maybe we shouldn't have him next year. That can we be honest? If
Yeah,
Darnell
his-
Savage does not show out this year,
His 5th year's up.
Amos will get a re-sign and Savage will be gone. That's how I feel about it.
I don't see us getting rid of Amos no matter what. I think he was a great pickup and he's continuing to be there.
My point
Amos-
is if Savage was killing it, then Amos would probably be gone before Savage.
Right.
How it's looking.
Amos-
Hey, everybody watching, tell us in the comments what's your game score.
It's his tackling, though, bro. He misses
Packers
too many
versus
fucking
Bucs. Let's
tackles,
see what
man.
everybody's thinking. Tell us
Like,
in
bro,
the
you're a
comments.
fucking safety. You got to make fucking tackles, dude.
I think
There's a lot of times
Yeah, Savage-
between them in a big game, man. You got to be sure-handed and at least get a shoelace or something.
Savage is a second coming of Clinton Dix right now. Like, you know what I mean? He's a guy that
You know what though?
really looks-
Actually,
That's a good comparison, but I
That
don't know
is
if I
good.
go quite that far.
Yeah, I had some great moments, but yeah, he just fell off, dude.
I actually disagree because I actually think Savage is turning into the second coming of Hyde, just way worse. He started.
Really?
If you guys
We
notice,
should have never got rid of Hyde, bro. Don't even.
If you guys
that was
watch,
like a huge
if you guys watch our defense, if you watch the games, Savage is underneath. Like 70% of the game, he's now underneath, playing this underneath shit. Where that's why Justin Jefferson killed us, because Savage ain't fast enough to keep up with this guy, and he went right by him every time. All of a sudden, I don't know what it is that Barry's doing, but he's keeping Amos way high and he's keeping Savage way low, which is weird because
high safety.
Which is weird because Amos is a great tackler and Savage is not a great tackler at all. But I think what he's trying to do is make a hybrid safety out of it underneath routes. He's scared of these slant combinations that the NFL usually does. For example, if you watch Josh Allen lives off of the slant, right? Like that's his bread and butter, rolling out and hitting the slant. So I gave my take on it. You guys continue.
When I think like our offense line has got to play their damn best. I mean, they already got 10 sacks already this year. They got 4 picks, 1 for a pick 6. I mean, our offensive line has definitely got to step their game up this week. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the main thing, though, if we're going to win this game, is we got to contain Fournette. Fournette's the guy that's going to run down our throats. And we got to prove that we can stop them, or we can stop Fournette. If we can contain Fournette, like
that's their whole offense right now. They got no wide receivers.
Yeah, exactly.
You know why? Because Tom Brady is a check down quarterback. That's the only reason why.
Yeah. If we can contain him, then the Bucs are going to be in trouble.
So let's be honest. We got Devondre Campbell.
Man. That's what I say. I'm not calling this game.
Yeah.
We got Devondre Campbell. Why don't you shadow the running back and the quarterback? First of all, wait. I miss. You don't have to shadow the quarterback because he's never going to run. Shadow the running back
pocket
all game. Shadow him all game.
Hey, watch before the game. Gronk comes out of retirement.
Don't even
out of nowhere,
that, man, because Tom Brady will make a phone call.
I think Clark's going to have a big game. Tell you the truth, right up the middle.
Who's their backup running? Who's their number 2 running back? It ain't.
No, he left. What's his name left? Yeah,
Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones went to KC. So who is it?
He's a rookie. He's a rookie that their backup. Forgot his name.
That's their backup. That just tells you how good that is.
Their backup is Rashad White.
Wow.
Rashad White.
But I don't think Fournette's got a touchdown yet. Has he got a touchdown yet this season?
No.
He doesn't, but like he breaks a lot of tackles, and he's a beast to take down.
Well, like any other guy, man, we just got to contain.
Yeah. So hopefully Green Bay is watching what New Orleans did, because what they did, they shadowed the outside. But you know what? That's kind of what got him killed also, because they didn't have the defensive backs. Once Lattimore got suspended from the game or kicked out of the game, all of a sudden, Tom Brady could throw anywhere he wanted. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
How many picks did he throw?
Huh?
What'd you say, Dorn?
There was a lot of picks thrown on that game.
Yeah.
That was a terrible game. That was an
Pick
awful
6
game.
and
Nick Isaac. I know you guys picked us to lose. I kind of feel that way too. But don't you just feel like it's like our time, like we're due fucking down there?
Yes, but every time
we are, dude. We're winning
every
in
time
the
I
South
think
this year.
Every time I think we're due against the 49ers in the playoffs, I'm not going to pick us anymore. Like,
well, we weren't in. We were here. We were in the North.
Yeah, I'm not.
We're in the South.
Yeah.
We're winning in the
I
South.
would rather
the Niners in the playoffs. I'm not taking shit.
I would rather be wrong than right in this instance. See what I'm saying? I'd rather
I
just.
know you're using reverse psychology on that shit.
It's not reverse psychology. I honestly think we're probably going to lose the game.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I would love to watch us kick their ass and me sit there and go, I was wrong.
I told you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Nick,
same
originally
here.
I had this as a loss. I really did, but the way the
I
Bucs
would love for
walking
Christian
movies,
Watson
bro,
to
this
have
is our
one
best chance
ball
of
out.
taking them out.
It
Exactly.
is.
Ball the fuck out. That'd be dope.
There's no Evans. There's no Godwin.
This is our best chance.
This is our best.
I
chance
had
to
this
beat
as a
in
loss
Tampa.
originally.
Instead of look, I'm just trying to think in a football sense. Instead of putting Campbell to shadow Fournette. What if we played nickel all game? We played man-to-man, and we let Rasul Douglas go against Fournette. And we had Devondre Campbell sit there in the middle of the field and do what he does best.
And just tee off anybody who comes across the middle. Just tee off out.
Yep.
Does that not sound good to you guys, right?
Yeah.
Hip to that. Fuck yeah.
Even week one, Bucks offense did not look good at all. Even week one, even when they were healthy.
We pay our high.
But what I'm getting at is, what's the point of signing Rasul Douglas if you're not going to make him run around the field and do all that extracurricular activity?
What's the point signing any of our guys if you're not going to turn it loose? You got this great machine, man, you could just destroy with. Let it go.
But my thought process is, if you have Campbell shadowing the running back, he's not stopping the run in general. He's shadowing whatever so if you have Rasul Douglas, who's amazing at that, shadow the running back and the tight end, you have Devondre Campbell now running wild, doing whatever it is that he does. That's lethal, in my opinion.
Just don't have Savage fucking carrying him, because that's a missed tackle there for sure.
We have guys that can do it, like Walker. If you can get a situation where Walker is rushing the quarterback as well, don't put Preston Smith out on the receivers when you do that, please. We have Walker also helping rush the quarterback. That's what we want.
Preston Smith played an outstanding game last week, fellas. Holy cow. He was in the right place.
The first two games, actually.
Bro, he was in position for a lot of – he was spying somebody, bro. He stopped a lot of plays.
I know Zadarius stomped a mud hole in our ass week one, but he sucked he didn't do shit week two. And I actually think we made the right decision. I think Zadarius Smith gone. I think Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary was the right way to go.
Yeah.
Well, I think this game, if we can utilize like some of our tight ends for blocking, like block Levante David and Devin White, and let our running backs just go loose, like Tanyan, set up some kind of screens, like White, running back screens and things of that nature, or just run Tanyan in a tight end block and just have our running backs just get loose. Aaron Jones is already just proving how fast he is, and he's bulked up, he's beefed up a lot. So, like, if we can get a lot of blocking schemes to block guys like Devin White and Levante David, I think we can run all over them.
That's going to be the key to winning it, man. We got to run.
Levante White's the key to. I mean, dude, we can't let that fucker beat us again, man.
Well, we have guys that can block their.
David's great too, but Devin White has destroyed us the last two games.
Hey, but for example, Myers. We have guys like Myers that can block his initial guy and move to the middle linebacker. So we got guys that can do it. It just matters on the scheme.
Let's get to the show. We're making fun of the Vikings.
Yeah, who do you think is going to win against the Vikings and Lions?
Real quick, I want to touch on this. I actually disagree with this. In my opinion, Chris Barnes is actually the best cover linebacker we have. Dude, I don't know what it is about him. He flies to the edges and stops passes all the
Barnes
time.
Is really good. Barnes, but the only issue with Barnes is his health.
He's a lot like Nick Barnett, where like he goes up the middle, stops the run, and then his arm is broken. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Torn bicep.
But back to the Vikings, man. You guys are what's called those beams out there, or Thielen was like covering for Cousins. Cousins was throwing straight to Jefferson. Even like a 5-year-old knows that ball is going to Jefferson. Slade just sat back there. Is like, okay, you're gonna try to throw to Jefferson? I'm gonna be right here all day.
They played physical, man. They played a physical defense, man.
I'm actually glad you brought that up.
He threw it blindly. Like
I want to go around the whole panel. I actually love that you brought that up, because this is for the first time in a really long time. Interesting. Who wins, Vikings or Lions? That's actually a really interesting game.
It is.
Who wins? Yeah. I got the Lions.
Who do we want to see win? That's the question.
I don't care who wins, because we're beating the Lions this year. We're going to beat the Vikings in Green Bay. I think the Lions just straight up outscore the Vikings. I think that's just how it goes. What do you guys think?
I think they're going to have a hard time stopping Swift. Swift is having a hell of a season, right? These last 3 games, and then I'm on Ross St. Brown. That guy has just been open all day. So
we should have drafted him. We should have drafted him when we could have.
Oh yeah, that's my boy from USC. But
and even though their offensive line's banged up, their offensive line's still doing pretty damn good.
Where's the game at?
The only
in Minnesota?
In Minnesota, yeah.
It's in Minnesota because the Lions had 2 games in a row at home. This one's in Minnesota.
The only thing is, it's Lions are like discovering what kind of Green Bay had back in the days, where it was all like we were great on offense, just suck at defense, and that's how Lions are. Their defense is not that good. They're about to give up about like if they allow Minnesota to score like at least 25 points, like close to there, they're gonna give up close to 100 yards, or 100 points in 3 games.
I want to see a tie. I just wanted the tie.
James, no. The fact that we got our ass kicked week 1 makes me confident that we're going to whoop their ass. This is how it goes. For what? The last 5 years in a row, I think, or 4 years in a row, they beat us. We beat them. It's just kind of how it goes. Yeah. David Gray.
Where do we play Philly at? I forgot.
I'll go
look
at
right Philly,
now.
Right?
I think it's in Philly. I think it's in Philly.
It's got to be in Philly. They do better at
a shitload of games at home. It's got to be in Philly.
Yeah, it's tough to play in Philly.
You know what happened last time we played in Philly? It was a murder in Philly. We beat their ass.
Yeah, we play good in Philly, man.
We do. Dave.
Yeah.
I think I got the Lions. I got the
Vikings and Lions.
I got the Lions. I mean, Vikings got off.
Can't do it.
Lions beat them both. Lions beat them both games last year. They got fucking lucky as fuck in that first game. Come back and kick that field goal. I got Lions.
Is it not a weird game though? It's like
how can you pick the Lions though, bro?
I know.
Is it not weird to sit there and be like the Lions could win,
bro? I just can't.
But you know what though? The Vikings defense is really bad.
I fucking hate Minnesota, bro. I just they're like the worst hated team in division for me.
But look,
Eagles.
The Vikings
Bears are for me. But
the Vikings.
How about they just fucking tie? They're just gonna tie. Fuck it, they're tying.
That's what I said. I want to tie.
9-9.
But the Vikings thought their defense was good when they played us. Their defense was not good. Our offense was just fucking bad.
Kirk Cousins is an under 500 quarterback. He's at 500 right now. He don't go above 500. He goes below 500 before he gets back to 500.
Can we talk about one topic though? Remember all those years Viking fans were saying, "Oh, you guys rely on Devontae Adams." That role has reversed now. You guys are relying on Jefferson only, and Eagles proved if you take Jefferson out the game, you guys are fucked.
They act like they just fucked us up. They fucked us up in the first half. Yeah, we didn't cover him, dude. They scored 17 on us. They act like we didn't shut them down in the second half. Like we fucking adjusted to that and realized we fucked up. Our offense just couldn't do nothing.
We left 14 points on the board in the first half also.
We got out coached, man. That's what that was. We just got out coached.
He fucked us up for one half, and we realized what the fuck we were doing, and he really didn't do
Jefferson didn't do shit in the second half. Absolutely nothing.
Thielen and Osborne fell off the planet. You know what I mean?
And the first game of the year. I mean, come on.
They break up that Irv Smith. What has he done?
All they have is Thielen and Osborne are just Irv Smith. Yeah.
I think we're all feeling the off-season curse of week 1. This is just like kind of natural to us at this point where we suck week 1 and all of a sudden we bounce back.
I'm sick of sucking in week 1, man. I'm sick of sucking in week 1. I really am. All off-season we hear it. We get all hyped up. We're supposed to see a real team.
You know what though, Rob? I disagree with you in a way because I'd rather
I got a theory on that.
Than early in the year.
What's your theory?
We went to 17 games and we lost a preseason game. So now it's basically like another fucking preseason game for Rodgers, pretty much. I mean, it's not making an excuse on because that's basically how we played the last 2 years.
There's another fucking years. Week 1, Rodgers has been an absolute dull bitch. Like, come on,
dude.
But that just
I think what it is.
That's the most prepared for a game, and we come out late the biggest, ugliest fat egg. How is
I
that?
Understand,
but Dave,
Brady used to do the same shit though. He used to
understand what
in the
LaFleur
first
is
game
doing.
of the year.
But Dave,
because we were the most injured, like one of the most injured teams last year. I understand what LaFleur was doing is resting starters and not playing them at all preseason. But I'm starting to think, start playing some of these guys in preseason. Let them get their feet wet because
Isaac, it's not about playing these guys during preseason. It's about Rodgers choosing not to. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah. Hey, when Jordy tore his ACL in Pittsburgh, that kind of ended all that shit for us.
Exactly. That's true. The second Jordy tore his ACL, all of a sudden the Packers went, I'm not playing.
That's a fluke, though. That's a fluke, man. That's a fluke. How many games did we play without injuries? You're talking about one fucking time.
We had the Bakhtiari. That was in practice.
You guys have seen Packers management, right? Packers management will take that you broke a toenail and they'll go, "Oh, he's questionable." Like,
we're really cautious.
That's something out of Belichick, though. Belichick did that with all his players when he got in trouble for not reporting them. He put everybody on there, man.
Yeah, we're really cautious on a lot of our players. Like, they can have anything. They can have a little cough, and then we'll put them on questionable.
So I know Dave has serious.
I'm a bounce y'all. I'm going out to the
real quick, Dave. Real quick before you bounce. I know you have strong feelings about this. Did you like the bounce back from Rodgers?
In regard to what?
I like if he can keep doing what makes his team better. If he can play that game manager role and let Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon be the focal point of our offense, and he be kind of the sidekick. I mean, dude, it's bad saying Aaron Rodgers as a,
no, it's not, bro. This is where everybody goes to eventually.
I can't think of the word. What's the word everybody uses?
It's not bad.
Game manager.
Game manager,
yeah.
I've been saying this for a while. That's what we need to do is let AJ
you imagine
Jones,
Aaron Rodgers is your game manager? Because
that's what I'm saying. I've been saying that for a while, dude. Let them fucking Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. We're better at run blocking than we are at pass blocking.
I honestly thought
what our team is. Run the ball.
Hold on, Isaac, real quick before Dave leaves. I just want to ask: did you like the bounce back that you saw? Because he game managed and he killed them off of the play action, and he game managed.
Yep.
That's all right.
Well, he did the first half. The second half, I'm not quite. Yeah.
David Gray has a lot.
We talked about that though, because the first game we came out once he threw that pass and Watson dumped it. It's like they just totally lost it. Like they lost what they were gonna do. I don't know. That's the way I felt.
I think it would have just boosted their confidence. I honestly think they don't know anything going into the season. We haven't practiced. We haven't played really. And each game we get better because we're gelling. We're starting to see, everybody's learning what they're, where they're. I don't know, man. It just don't.
Rodgers doesn't like his receivers. Rodgers throws the ball out of bounds. I'm like, I watched Cousins against the Eagles, and I went, "Do you see why Rodgers throws the ball out of bounds? Because he doesn't do that." I'm just saying.
Yeah, no. He was just heaving it, bro. I don't know how many times he dropped back and just heaved it up.
I want to say one thing about Christian Watson, dude. I do believe in Christian Watson, but like that is a bad look when you're known for dropping passes.
Okay, I agree with you on that.
When you're first
wide receiver's wet dream, that hit him in the hands, bro.
Like, bro,
he got nervous. He said he said he got nervous, and then that's what shook him up. You know what I mean? But like he needs to. Well, he'll shake that off. It's his first game
ever. It gives me confidence, bro, to see that he could get that wide open. I mean, he got behind the secondary. He had 3 steps on his man.
I would love to see a great game from him this week. I don't know if he's even going to play, but I would love this dude. Like, he needs to have a breakout.
No, Dobbs is going to have a field day. Dobbs, you watch. Dobbs is going to have a great game tomorrow. Watch.
You know what I thought would never happen in the Rodgers tenure was him being a game manager. You know what I mean? We've been so reliant on his
doesn't it feel like that's what he needs to be though for this team? Doesn't it feel like that's what he needs to be for this team?
Yeah, I think he's progressed into that. I really, honestly, with his little hippie ways and everything, honestly, I think he's taken a step back. He's like, I know I got to do this.
We have a team.
I hope so. Hey, Rob, that's an awfully big fucking ego for him. He's got an awfully big ego, and that's a big fucking step for him, dude. I'm not even hating on him, dude. I mean, it's my honest.
I watched his after the his post game. He talked about. He's like, I played like crap. He admitted he played like crap, and if he managed the game better, I mean, well, dude, the handoff was all Rodgers' fault. I mean, at first it looked like it was a combo, but it was all Rodgers, bro.
What he said was He
I mean, he
snapped it
hasn't
in one.
digressed.
He was
He
supposed to
digressed
snap
right
it on
after he
two.
had that last collarbone. He did digress a little bit, and it was because of his broken collarbone. But that
Right.
shit's stronger now. He's on point now. But
Well-
he is a little bit older, and he needs to, like I said, be more of a game manager. Let AJ and AJ fucking go at it, man.
Rob,
Fuck yeah.
Rob, you bring up a good point though. Like a lot of these dumb haters always say Rodgers doesn't blame himself. He says that almost every interview. That when he sees things that he doesn't like, or like he'll say that, "Oh, I made a bad throw. I should have made a throw here." Yeah, great. You gotta admit it when you watch the interview.
I'll admit he has done it this year, but he ain't done it before, bro. Come on
What?
now.
No, I
there's a
think
couple games
I
where
think
he's
he's made a
just
change,
frustrated
man.
and
Honestly,
he's
I think
like,
this
hey,
is the progression, bro.
but-
I think this is
but-
Rodgers being
Yeah,
that veteran
too.
guy.
I
If
watch
he
a
can
lot
let
of the
that-
interviews. I watch a lot of the interviews after the games, and Rodgers puts some blame on himself. He's like,
Yes.
"Hey, I wasn't ready for this game." He blamed himself against the Saints week 1. He said the whole team wasn't ready, but myself, I wasn't ready. He blamed himself against the Vikings. He said, "I wasn't ready. You know, we got to make more plays. We got to do more things." You know, it's Rodgers does put blame on himself, but just the media always puts him as some sinister guy that doesn't want to take a shot and wants to drink Alaska. Like they want to focus on the negative shit about him.
They bring that up every interview now. The ayahuasca shit, man. I swear to God,
they do because that's how media gets paid. Hey, would you
telling
rather
somebody you do Ayusha is definitely putting yourself in the fucking media, though, bro.
Well,
hey, but again, there's many players that admit it doing shit like different shit, like Brett Favre taking painkillers, but that's not even. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he went into rehab. He had a problem.
Well, we all didn't know there's a reason why he's the Iron Man of football. Like he's going out there every week, taking a beating like he was.
He have a broken leg.
By the way,
Brett Favre, I mean, what a fucking douchebag, dude. For real, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Yeah, exactly.
You're my fucking hero, dude. Like, what the fuck, bro? What are you doing?
By the way,
man?
Rodgers
like he needs the fucking money.
By the way, Rodgers did admit he took a bunch of Percocets, so I think every NFL player taking that.
He inhaled one time too. I understand.
I want to try Ayusha though, bro. I don't even know what the fuck it is, but I want to try it,
bro. I want to try it just to see what's up with the quarterback. I want to have an experience with them.
So order some from him. Order some from him. But no, like as you can see, like I've said this in various shows before, you know, we're slowly transitioning to the run game. We got two really good, capable running backs, Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, and those guys are monsters. Just feed them the ball. You know what I mean? Just feed them the ball. We have the defense now to like, even though week 1 was like an outlier, I think so. I think it was just an outlier. But I think our defense is really good in all facets, all phases of it, like the secondary to the linebackers to the front seven, you know, or the front line. We need to just pound the ball, play some good defense.
Yep.
You know,
I think that's why they picked up
whatever our wide receivers gives us is a bonus.
That's why they picked up Sammy Watkins, because he is the best fucking blocking receiver there is out there. And then we got Lazard. He's like the third or fourth. And then
last week showed why they
blocking.
picked up Sammy Watkins. I understand now why they picked him up. I mean, dude, if you could get that crossing over the middle a couple times a game, man, holy shit, it's only going to get farther down the field.
Yeah.
Even in that game, he was getting further down the field on that.
But
that
I mean,
play.
I didn't even see him get hurt. I didn't like what the hell happened. He pulled a hamstring.
He pulled a hammy, bro. He probably slipped, celebrating. I don't fucking know.
It's like, what the hell?
Man.
That route he took, he pulled the hammy.
Yeah, every year
that was a sweet route, bro. I mean, he was clutch when we needed him, and if that's why we brought him in, bro, he's gonna go far if he could stay healthy.
I'd rather him pull a hammy than Alan Lazard. We need Alan Lazard.
I agree.
Yeah, we need Lazard for sure.
We need Lazard out there just because he's the perceived one, and he's going to take away from some other people too. He's not out there shit.
Let me ask you guys a question. Everybody talks about we need to get this wide receiver. Okay, OBJ is kind of
fuck that.
Do you all think we need to get any wide receiver? Are we good? I know we're not great at where we're at, but who's out there?
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
nobody out there worth the shit. Like, let's be honest.
right.
Packers fans jump the gun on. We are so spoiled. That's the problem. When you're a bad team and you've been a bad team for a long time, you don't think this way. The Packers fans are so fucking spoiled that they think take any name that anybody actually knows who they are and just get them and it'll work.
Right.
That's not how it.
Yeah.
That's not how football works.
Dude.
Like,
It doesn't.
come on.
gotta
That
fit
is
your
not how
system.
football works. You don't just take any name that you're like, I know who that is, and it works. That's not how it goes, man.
I'd rather them take a flyer on defensive players and O-line.
Like one guy said Cole Beasley. Like we already got Cole Beasley. We got fucking Randall Cobb.
Yeah,
look
Very
how
much
brought in,
difference between
Okay.
brought in
What do
Russell
you guys
Douglas.
think about Amari Rodgers when he's doing punt returns? I get scared every time he fucking touches
I
that
He
know.
ball.
almost fucking up the
Isaac.
passing.
Isaac,
Yeah.
go ahead and say what you're gonna say, Isaac.
I was gonna say I'd rather us take flyers on defensive players like Gutekunst was doing. You know what I mean? Instead of just going for offense, keep building on his defense, build depth, and bringing in a guy like Russell Douglas paid huge dividends
Oh yeah,
for our
dude.
whole team.
Devondre
And
Campbell?
Devondre Campbell, one of the keys guys that got us to 13 wins.
Who was that guy we picked up?
On that depth. And
We picked up from Cowboys, and he got hurt.
This is what
he did good.
Yeah. See. Oh yeah. He was whack. Yeah. I don't know why we even got him.
Jalen
But
Smith?
anyways, yeah, Jalen Smith. He was trash.
Yeah.
But
Garbage.
Anyways, what I was gonna say is Gutekunst doesn't get a lot of credit for this. Gutekunst built a lot of depth around this team that it's never had before. You know, at first, if our starters go down, we are fucked. We're completely fucked. Gutekunst has now put guys behind guys that if some guys go down, these guys can step up. And he needs a lot of credit.
That's just because I think Goody subscribes to that wherever I can get the talent, whether it be the draft, whether it be free agency, whether it be a trade. I mean,
he's completely
Ted
the
Thompson
opposite.
wasn't on that. He was all about just draft everybody and you need that mix. You need to find that special talent off free agency that you're not going to see in
But not overpay.
rest in
But not
peace.
overpay for it.
Yeah, rest in
Right.
peace
No,
to
you
Ted
got to be able to
Thompson.
understand their value.
I
That's
actually had an
very
argument.
key.
I actually
rest
had
in
a
peace.
really
Oh, go ahead.
ridiculous argument with a Packers fan recently. Isaac saw this, where they were like, if Rodgers took pay cuts, and I went, first of all, Rodgers made it possible with his restructure for us to have this money to re-sign people.
Right.
Second of all, what pay cuts? Because from 2009 to 2014, he made an average of $10 million a year, less than Tom Brady. Why didn't we win Super Bowls all those years? Because you don't need to take a pay cut at that point. You're being paid less than half the league. So there was this argument where, well, if he took pay cuts like Tom Brady, first of all, he made less money than Tom Brady for almost half his career.
That's such a
Where were the Super
misconception
Bowls?
for that, man. Such a misconception.
So then they said, well, Tom Brady won Super Bowls because he took pay cuts. No, that's not true at all.
That's not
Tom
true.
Brady-
He never took a pay cut.
Tom Brady at one point was one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league, and they were still winning Super Bowls. Well, then how did they win Super Bowls? I went, I think it's pretty easy to figure this out.
And from his
Good management, good team structure.
Good
You know what
coaching.
we've never had? You know something that we've never had? We've never had a great team structure. Now, what does that mean? That means a complete team where we put guys around us that helps us win. We've never had
and you know what?
I don't know,
You know what I
man.
gotta
Ron
say to a
Wolf,
couple of those
was
people?
very good about putting
I'm
guys
talking
in.
about Rodgers era. I'm talking about Rodgers era.
You know what I
Ron
gotta
Wolf,
say to a couple? You know what I gotta say to a couple of these people is that name those players. I mean, you know when Brady won those championships with the Patriots, name the players they were paying. They were letting guys loose every year. They would use the guy to his potential, and then he would do really good. Like guys like
it's like Flowers. Remember when they let go of Flowers, who wanted a shitload of money?
Van Noy, Flowers, all those guys.
Teddy
you know,
Bruschi, the moment that Teddy Bruschi was getting older and he wanted more money, they were like, it's either retire or don't play.
Yeah, Belichick was that kind of guy. Is we'll use you to your potential, and then when you're about to get paid, you're out of here. You know what I
So
mean?
let
We're
me
all
ask you
kicked
guys,
out.
where was it that Rodgers was supposed to take these pay cuts to make the team better? Because first of all, Ted Thompson, I pulled up all this information, all of this shit where we had $20+ million to spend early on. And we did nothing in free agency. We brought Julius Peppers that one time.
Mhm.
We got Charles Woodson when nobody wanted him on a smaller contract. What did we actually do with all that extra money that we had? Nothing.
2014 we had 20 million. 2012 we had 20 million. We had we had many years.
So if Rodgers, who's only making 10 million, first of all, that's on average because he only made like 7 million in 2012 and then 8 million in 2013. So Aaron Rodgers is supposed to take a pay cut somewhere in his career when Ted Thompson doesn't spend money to get players. I'm just saying, like,
yeah. And here's another point. Here's another point we got to put it out there. It's tough to have players to come play for Green Bay. It doesn't matter if we have a super powered team. A lot of players don't want to come and play in the cold. They want to go to these hot weather teams, Tampa. You know what I mean?
It's not really like
LA,
that though anymore. I don't think it's like that. Yeah.
Well, real quick,
you're
Rob
gonna get your
and
fair
John.
share of.
Rob and John. Hold on. Rob and John,
snow.
I'm gonna get your guys' opinion, and trust me, I'm gonna get your guys' opinion on all this. I just want Dave, because he's gonna leave, I want him to touch on that where people are saying Rodgers should have took pay cuts somewhere. Where? Please explain to me where.
You're not gonna like it, Nick. You might not like it. I don't know.
Maybe I could rebuttal.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers should have took pay cuts. I think Aaron Rodgers should have played better in the playoffs.
That's way different, though. First of all, Aaron Rodgers has some of the best stats in playoff history, arguably the best stats in playoff history, way better than Tom Brady. But I will say, when it comes to the NFC Championship game, I've been let down multiple times. But
that's what I'm talking about, bro.
But wait, David Gray, real quick. Just
hold on. He's lost twice in the first round as a number 1 seed. One time he was 15-1.
But what about the defense, though? That was not defense.
Come on.
I
know I give him a lot of hate, but I mean, it's not like I'm being fucking totally honest about it, though.
But David Gray,
I can see.
Hold on,
but
David
the other
Gray.
ones, that was defense.
Last year,
no, it was not. We had 4 fucking turnovers in that game. 2 of them were from him.
Hold on.
And we,
last year,
I'm going out to the bar right now because y'all.
No, hold on, David. Hold on. Stay. Last year, I give Aaron Rodgers an enormous amount of blame. Last year, Aaron Rodgers
definitely last year
deserves it.
No, I'm sorry. That's on the coach, man. I'm sorry.
Okay, but Aaron Rodgers deserves an enormous amount of that.
We scored 10 points, Rob.
Yeah, but
points.
But wait. Let me say this. Who in their right mind in
we
the
had
middle
the
of a
fucking
blizzard tries to
MVP.
throw
We
the
scored
ball
10
40
fucking
yards down the
points.
field?
I don't give a fuck, dude. We scored 10.
You should have run the ball. That's the coach's call.
Look, guys,
we should have ran.
He could out of it though.
Hold on. Look, guys.
Dylan.
Rob, Dave, I think you're splitting hairs because I think Rob is saying he doesn't give as much of the blame, whereas David is saying I give more of the blame.
Yeah,
I'm kind of in the middle.
It's
I
a
don't
team
give
effort.
him total blame. Not at all. Not even in the least bit. But I do give Aaron Rodgers a lot of the fucking. I'd say about 40% of the fucking blame.
I give Rodgers more than that, actually. I give Rodgers 50% of the blame. I think half that game is his fault. I really do.
He was looking at Devontae Adams only.
I was going to say.
He was looking at Devontae Adams only.
Yep.
And wide open, going here. I'm open.
I don't care. Yeah, and I don't care what anybody says. I think, Rodgers even knew Devontae Adams was leaving. He was trying to give him the biggest game of his life.
Yes, I agree. That's why that part of
Another
it.
thing that bothered me is his little saying, "We need to get one of these at home." Well, you had that fucking chance.
Yeah, we've had that
now.
bro.
3 fucking times.
Dave,
you had.
Can I ask you a question?
The number 1 seed, the number 2 seed gets home field, bro.
Dave,
I think of that hope that buys help. I don't like
bro,
Dave,
his little fucking statement.
Dave, real quick, Dave, can I ask you a question?
I don't even believe him anymore, dude. That's
Dave.
I just
can I ask you a question real quick? I think this, Dave. I'm going to ask you a question, and I think this will alleviate a lot of the shit that we're arguing about. In the NFC Championship game, was the run game working? If your answer is not no, then you're delusional. It was wretched. Not only that, did
Yeah, I don't
Aaron
think
Jones
it
get
was, no,
hurt?
It was
think
better
worth
than the
it.
passing game, though. The running game was better than the passing game.
No, I'm talking about the NFC Championship game against the Bucks.
Oh,
We
Yeah,
passed
he fumbled
very
and
well
then he
against
got-
them.
the
and
Buck
then he
game.
got
you're
hurt.
Oh
talking
yeah,
about. Okay,
yeah.
Buck.
The
Against the
running
Bucks?
game was treacherous, and
Oh,
then
Against the Bucks,
absolutely.
Rodgers was the best player on
Yeah.
the field.
and
I
then
was-
Yeah, we didn't have
Devin
Aaron
White-
Jones that game either.
Devin
on,
White
guys, hold on.
owns Aaron Jones. Devin
and
White
then
owns
Aaron
Jones.
Jones got hurt after fumbling basically fumbling
Yeah.
a touchdown away. So let me ask you: last year we were running the ball very well, and then AJ Dillon got hurt. So. Is there not a lot of components that go to this other than just Aaron Rodgers just didn't perform? Because
Oh, sure.
I get it.
Definitely.
I get it.
But the
Aaron
team's
Rodgers did
really
not play
Definitely.
well.
Definitely.
So
What's his career QBR in the NFC Championship game?
it's bad. It's like 79
yeah.
or something.
Yeah, it's
like
horrible, man. It's horrible.
76.
He's got a lot of turnovers too in the NFC.
What was
I
his
think the
QBR
pressure's
in the
gotten to
game
him. I
against
think the
49ers?
pressure's gotten to the team, bro.
What was his QBR in the game against the Giants?
It depends because
You know
that's
what?
the
When we had
outlier.
a-
Giants were running through
That was
everybody.
horrible.
wait a minute. It depends because one of those games against the Giants in the playoffs,
I'll look
he
it up right now.
destroyed them.
I'm talking about 2011 when we were 15-1.
It was not
Yeah,
good.
no,
it was
we-
like
No, that
54.
Giants team got
we
healthy
tanked.
at the
Roger,
right
that was-
time.
That
That
was
Giants
a
team
tank
got
right
healthy
there.
at the
I
right
agree.
time.
Wait a
and
minute.
buzzsawed everybody.
The defense letting Ahmad Bradshaw, not Josh Jacobs, Brandon Jacobs run through their asshole, and then the Hail Mary at halftime. That's not Rodgers' fault, though. Come on.
Yeah.
No, that's on the defense. You're right. It's on the defense.
We were in that
Although-
game. We were in that game, though.
Rodgers did not play amazing, but he
Hell
played
no,
well
John
enough that
Kuhn
we could have
fumble.
won.
John Kuhn fumble changed that fucking game.
That defensive line, though, by the Giants was nasty.
I think it was John Kuhn,
2011.
wasn't it?
So my point is,
Kuhn?
I can
Yeah,
find
on
a
that game.
lot more examples of Rodgers not fucking up and the team fucking up than I can the other
But
way.
he hasn't played. Dude, he was MVP in all of them years. He didn't play like an MVP in them.
I don't think we're not. I don't think we're
the
disputing
disappointment. You're right about that, bro. I agree with that.
He's won the MVP 4 times now. And 4
I
Yeah.
don't
times
think
he's
we're
never-
disputing that, though. I think what we're
Yeah.
saying is there's a lot of moments where we're just unlucky. It feels.
I
like.
think
Come
everybody
on.
thinks I give total blame on him.
He
though,
looked-
when I
he
hate
looked
on
like
Rodgers, though, man.
Hey, I
No,
gotta
we know
say,
you
he
got
looked
some
like
hate for him, though,
MVP against
Dave.
The Bucks, so he looked like
Dave is
MVP
drawing
against the Bucks
words.
in the NFC Championship game. He
Hey,
was
Dave,
just
not
killing
afraid
him.
to say it.
Dave,
Some
I
of y'all
know.
want to just keep our hope that he's going to lead us to the promised land. He ain't going
There
to
you
lead us to
go.
the fucking promised
We're
land.
gonna
He's
put this
gonna,
to
bro.
rest.
We're going this year, man.
I'll believe it when I fucking see it.
Hold
If
on.
I made 2 Super Bowls,
We're
Yeah,
gonna put this to rest
back to
right
back.
now. This is how we put this to rest. David Gray, I know not me and you personally. Me and you have always been good, no matter what the argument was. In fact, me and David Gray have had such bad arguments that it made our friendship closer. I will say though, you have to finally admit the NFC Championship game against the Bucks. That is not Rodgers' fault in any way. He was the best player in that game.
He was the best player on the field. Yep.
It's just another season with an excuse.
I
though,
know,
so that's
I
the
know the
problem.
dude grabbed him, but that was tight coverage. He threw that pick into.
And why
That's
didn't
all
he run it?
He
Do that
went
He
to
anyway?
didn't fucking
shoulder
Fuck
pad
off.
He didn't
down.
fucking
He
run
should've
that shit in.
fucking
He should have
ran.
ran that shit in.
First of all, Alan Lazard was open. He pulled his
Yeah.
shoulder pad down.
I
Like,
know
come
he
on.
did, man. But that was
Rodgers
And then
ran,
come on,
man.
if
you
he-
don't
if he
make that
tried to-
throw. You know you don't make that throw when you're down on your own end of the field, though.
If he
Dog.
tried to run though,
He was
Devin
trying
White
to get a
was
flag.
right there.
He was trying to get a flag.
So what, man? That's where you put the. That's where you the.
and he didn't
right
run
there.
it in. And he missed Lazard wide open on the
Facts.
field goal
Facts.
he kicked before that play. He missed
Facts.
Lazard wide open running across. The guy fell
Yeah.
down, dude.
David,
Well,
David,
Forced it to Devontae.
Well, Lazard
After-
dropped
after-
the 2 point.
after these years,
I don't
Can
care.
you-
He's running wide open on the front of the end zone. He
After
forced it
these
in the
years,
triple
can
wide
you
to
at least-
Devontae.
can you at least admit that's not Rodgers' fault that game? He played
No,
really
no,
fucking
no.
well, man.
He didn't play well, Nick.
Yes, he did. He played actually really well.
Look, man.
did.
I don't put any
He had 3
loss on any
touchdowns,
game on any one
365
player, man. It's just not. It's not. That's not how it's done.
Okay, it was his best of his fuck ups, I guess. You could say.
Ah,
Yeah, we
I
can't.
love Aaron Rodgers, dude. He's my quarterback, dude. I just bro, he just broke my fucking heart too many times where I don't forgive him no more, bro.
Do you think we
Yeah,
don't know?
heartbreaker.
Like my ex-wife,
Heartbreakers,
dude.
man.
I mean, I gave her so many fucking goddamn chances. I was finally like, fuck you, bitch. I mean, you're out of here. That's the way I feel about it,
Fuck
dude.
you,
Like,
bitch.
I'm sorry, man. That's the way I feel about
Hey,
it.
how come you haven't felt that way with Favre though?
Oh well, hey,
How do you know I
Favre
haven't?
is good
though?
for a
Favre's
bunch of
been gone,
interceptions,
bro.
bro.
I've
Favre
cussed
fucked
Brett
up
Favre
a
more
lot.
times than you can imagine,
Come on,
bro.
man. Favre threw 4 touchdowns against the Rams, and we
I don't
lost.
care. You guys say Favre through all these goddamn picks. He still came back and he's got more.
Bro,
fucking
he's the
wins.
most exciting fucking quarterback to
Yeah.
play
He's got
the
more
fucking
wins
game.
than
I don't care how many
Rodgers
picks he
won't
threw.
catch him in wins.
Hold
I
on,
don't
hold on,
care
real
if you say
quick.
team stat or not. Rodgers won't catch him in wins.
I watched Favre throw 4 touchdowns against the Rams when they were good, and then in the playoffs, I watched him throw 4 interceptions against the Rams. So I'm just
dude.
saying.
I don't know, man. He's just, dude.
Hey, Rodgers already broke a lot of like whatever playoff stats.
I know I
Favre
give guys shit about that, dude. But if you didn't really watch Rodgers or Favre from the beginning,
I
of his
did.
fucking career,
I
it
did.
just hits you right here, dude. It just like, dude. We were not good. We were not good in the 70s, and when that fucker came in there, and he just, dude, it's I don't know, dude. It's just special, bro. They'll never leave me, dude.
Favre is top 10.
And that's why I
Favre's
kind of get with these Rodgers dudes. Like, I just get mad.
No. See, this is why.
In my opinion, Favre is 7, and Rodgers is like 4 or 5. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I agree with you totally, dude.
David, let me tell you why.
By far more talented, but Brett was so goddamn fun to watch, dude.
Fun to watch.
Exactly.
Fun
It's
to
like
watch.
watching backyard football.
He's got more comeback wins than Rodgers has. You all can. I think you all guys can admit that.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Rodgers made your fun,
Bro,
though.
if you ask me,
Rodgers
I'm going to
made
take
your fun.
Favre over Rodgers every time on that. If I had a, I'm sorry, man. Fourth quarter
I'll
comeback,
take
I'm
Rodgers
taking
over Favre
Rodgers.
any day.
I mean, I'm Favre.
You're taking Favre, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
taking
disagree.
Favre every time.
I've
I'll
watched
take
Rodgers move
Rodgers.
the ball so fluid. There's just no look.
The way Rodgers pinpoints the ball, the way he throws in tight
I don't care.
windows.
Favre threw it so fast, you were going to catch it no matter what if it hit you.
That
Okay,
fucker hit a
no,
bullet,
hey,
man.
look,
He threw
Favre-
bullets.
Favre had strength. He had bullets. I mean, I still have a magazine I got to find that, Favre used to put blisters.
Antonio
on, wide
Freeman
receivers'
has broken
hands.
fingers. He can't
Yeah.
even put his ring on.
I will never
Right.
forget Favre to Sharp in Detroit. I will never forget that. As long
No,
as
in the
bro,
playoffs,
that-
in the back of the corner in the
What
end
about
zone.
Favre to
dude,
Donald
I will
Driver?
never forget that.
My
1995
my favorite
or
clips of
94?
Favre, all my favorite
93.
clips
That
of
was
Favre
93. Our
But
first
the playoff
playoff win in
game-
like 20 fucking 5, 6, 7
It was
years.
the
something like
94
that.
Super Bowl, though, 93 season.
93 season, yeah.
What about Favre to Driver? And that what was that 60-yard bomb that he fucking threw to him?
Yeah,
That
but
was
if
fucking
Sterling
sweet
if
one.
Sterling Sharp would have been able to stay in the game, Favre and Sharp would have had some of the greatest records in the history of a quarterback
So
wide
real quick,
receiver, man.
Rob, you were touching on some things that I want to question real quick. Who has a better win percentage, Favre or Rodgers?
I don't know.
Let's say win percentage, Rodgers.
Yeah,
So,
percentage
Total
wise,
wins,
Rodgers.
Favre.
Who's been losing more often in games, Favre or Rodgers?
Who has
Favre.
a better playoff? Okay, Nick, who has a better playoff record?
They're actually, what's Favre? He's,
One more game better.
yeah, I was about to say, he's like,
Yeah, it's not a whole
Great,
lot.
trying to
But-
stick that in.
but- He's been to 2 Super Bowls.
my point
Rodgers
is,
only one.
Yeah,
my
that's
point is-
true. He did play 2 Super Bowls.
Sneaky, Gray.
my point is the comeback, the comeback wins happens when you're losing, and Favre has been losing in games an exponential amount more than Rodgers. Rodgers is winning games more often than most quarterbacks in history, actually. So I don't like that stat because it's skewed. Like, if Rodgers had a lot more of a sample size of coming back from behind, it'd be different. But you guys see the stupid stat, like he's 0-4. It's not a true stat.
Hey,
Isaac, you've seen
I'll
me
admit.
Yeah.
Hold on, real quick. Let me finish this real quick. I'll go to you, David. Isaac, have you not seen me debunk that stat like a million fucking times? It's not even funny.
Oh yeah. That was the dumbest stat I've ever seen in my life. And then and Nick, will provide the stats for it and just
The
crush
Twitters,
people on
the
it.
I provide everything. I have a whole folder of it that proves everybody wrong. and then they just go, well, fuck you. Like, that's basically what happens. David, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't.
No, I'll admit Favre probably put us behind in a lot of them fucking games that he came back in. But dude, he's just always more fun to watch for me. I don't know.
He's a gunslinger.
He just forgets about the bad pass, bro. He just forgets about it.
As a championship standpoint, they're pretty similar. Rodgers is by far the better passer, more accurate, more touchdown interceptions
better.
But
Favre's got a stronger pass and a better bomb, a longer bomb,
and athletically. Rodgers has those Hail Marys that you can't dispute.
Yeah, those were like 60. I mean, Favre could throw the ball 90 yards on a fly.
Go on, Rob. There was the one in Detroit. They said it was like 101 yards it traveled in air yards and something crazy like that. So his arm.
Rodgers has an arm.
Favre had a cannon, bro.
Oh yeah, Favre has a cannon for sure. But Rodgers, he has an arm too. You can't forget that.
So let me put it this way.
I've never seen him throw big time.
I think this is a really good comparison. Let me put it this way, because I think you guys will appreciate this. Mahomes is like Rodgers and Josh Allen is like Favre. And look at them.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, put it this way. When Jordan Love gets his turn, he's going to be better than both of them.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Bro, I hope we get Arch Manning, bro. I hope we suck just for Arch Manning.
I live 3 miles away from where
I'm cool with it too.
Love
if we
played.
suck the next 2 years and we get Arch Manning,
might get him.
I live 3 miles away from where Jordan Love played. I wanted him to be good so bad. I'm starting to lose the faith. I'm sorry.
I like to gamble in the pig. But man,
even Nick bought Jordan Love underwear. I mean,
I think he does that more. He can control the offense that better. I think than Justin Fields is.
Look, John Dorn, I don't think you're wrong. I just think he could be a good starting quarterback. I don't think he could ever be great. That's
let me ask.
He's going to be an average starting quarterback.
Hey, let me ask Gray this.
I bet he'd be better than Fields.
Let me ask Gray this.
That's not saying much.
If that's your measuring stick, then we're in the wrong business.
Well, let me ask. He's not.
Let me ask David Gray this real quick. How many Hall of Famers did Favre play with, and how many did Rodgers play with?
A lot.
The grave digger.
A lot of players that Favre had.
Who else did he play with besides Reggie? Who else did he play with besides Reggie? That's a Hall of Famer.
What's it? No,
Roy Butler. Didn't he finally?
Roy Butler just made it.
Darren Sharper would be in the Hall of Fame if he wasn't a raper.
No.
No. Yeah, but would he be under a Packer, though?
What?
That's the question.
Darren Sharper?
Whoa. You don't think Darren Sharper would be a Hall of Famer if he wasn't a rapist?
No.
Well, that's what happened when you go to Minnesota. They turn you into
I don't know if he'd have went in the Hall of Fame under the Packer banner.
No Hall of Fame overall. He'd be an overall Hall of Fame. For the Saints,
I forgot about Leroy.
Yeah, Leroy just got it, though, man. I mean, come on. He deserved it.
But let's go down. You really want to break it down? Let's go down wide receiver. Who had better wide receivers?
Brett Favre. He had Sterling Sharp, who's better than any receiver that
Antonio Freeman.
But Antonio
Freeman was good. He had
Antonio Freeman. Why is Antonio Freeman not in the Hall of Fame? I want to know because he had a.
What about Robert Brooks?
What about Robert Brooks?
Guy.
Andre Rison. I know Andre Rison was short-lived, but he did have Andre Rison.
No way.
Donald Driver.
He had better tight ends.
Driver, I agree.
Players ever.
He had better tight ends by a long shot.
Yeah, Bubba Franks.
He had Chamora.
Yeah. Well, Adams, Jennings,
the Bubba zone.
Cobb and Nelson.
Yeah, he had Jennings. I'll associate Jennings more of Favre's era.
I think Jennings is more of the Favre era. Let's be honest. Yeah. That's more of the Favre era.
Yeah, he didn't play much. He didn't play much with Rodgers as Favre did.
I think our teams are pretty equal between both of them. To be honest with you, man,
I'll agree with that. I think it's
you can pick hairs all you want, but I think they both fucked up. They both knew.
Well,
if the defense can be anything like the '96 defense, I'll agree with you on that.
And that's one thing that Rob brought up a good point. Favre had way better defenses than Rodgers ever had.
Way better. That '96 team. That '96 team, I'll put up against any team.
I know, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
Hold on real quick. That 2010 defense, it was pretty fucking stellar.
They came out at the end of the season, but they weren't the stars that are on that 96 team.
Well, that's
Hey,
because
To this day,
we
to
don't
this day,
we
Reggie
don't make
White's
the
my
Super
favorite
Bowl
player.
without them, bro. There's no
96
No,
way.
dude, I 100% agree right
the
there.
96 defense's front line, like the front seven, is so amazing. Whereas with the 2010 defense, it was more so like the DBs were so goddamn good. You just couldn't like get past us.
In 2010, I remember
Our depth was great that year.
Matthews really coming in. You know, that was his like biggest year.
Yeah,
I
but
think.
go ahead and name off the other guys that were coming on. Like we had BJ Raji, and that was about it.
Yeah, no.
No, Pickett played pretty good that year. Pickett played all right.
Yeah, he was.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's no player that Rodgers played with that's better than what Reggie White was.
Never,
Reggie
never.
White was a monster.
That's legendary status, bro. Right there.
I will rebuttal you with Charles Woodson because I think he's at least top 3 greatest cornerback that ever lived.
I can agree with that. But Reggie White, I'd say in most lists,
top
he's
2.
Like he's like right next to Lawrence Taylor up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If not above Lawrence Taylor. I mean,
Dave doesn't agree. Look at Dave's face. He doesn't agree.
LT's dude's all-time best defensive player.
He
ever.
said he's close.
I love Reggie White. He's on my team, but LT is the man.
Yeah,
Do you not think Reggie White is
LT,
there with
bro.
him? You don't
Ain't
think
nobody
Reggie
like
White?
LT.
It's hard to put LT too. I mean, it's very hard.
Hey guys,
I
I gotta
disagree.
find.
There's
Yeah,
one guy that comes to mind.
Man. I got to go too.
I'm just glad they didn't play the same position because then.
Hey, y'all have a good one. Go Pack, go.
All right, David Gray. Later, brother.
Right. Take care.
I'm
bro.
out too, fellas. I got to go.
All right.
Been
All
fun.
right, y'all.
Good night. Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go, baby. Peace.